Tonight starts off week 9 of high school football, and for the Red Raiders of BC Rain, their playoff dreams are still alive. A win tonight gets them one step closer to securing a playoff spot. Now for Leflore, a win is definitely what they need, as they are winless so far this season. It's homecoming and senior night for the Rattlers, so the sweet taste of victory will be the perfect icing on the cake. Which team's dreams will be fulfilled? We're about to find out. Good evening and welcome to the MCPSS High School Football Pregame Kickoff Show. I'm Al Wheaton, joined by Corey LeBounty. Corey, this is a big ball game for the BC Rain Red Raiders tonight.
When you start talking about a short week of preparation for Coach Yeldon and the Red Raiders, you have to stay focused and know what's at task. You control your own destiny if you're a Red Raider fan at this point in time in the season.
They have 2 games remaining next week at Alberta, and then they're going to host Gulf Shores. And they know, Coach Yeldon knows he needs to get at least 2 out of the 3, but getting 3 would really be great for him.
Well, this is what you want to start. You want to get a little momentum going into the postseason. If something doesn't go your way, you definitely want to have momentum going into the offseason. But Coach Yeldon, again, 1 year ago, makes the playoffs for the Red Raiders. He wants to continue to build off of that type of success that he has built. Again, the injury bug throughout this season, they had that fantastic win over the Vigo Wolves, who at the time were ranked number 2 in the state of Alabama.
Correct.
At this point in time, Al, a few weeks later, the injury bugs, anytime you're down to your 3rd and 4th string center, you know it continues to be a problem for you. But here in the back half of the season, which we're in week number 8 now, the Red Raiders are getting a little bit healthier, and they hope the health pays off tonight against the Leflore Rattlers.
Speaking of the Red Raiders, they are the visiting team. Let's go ahead and head into your checklist, Corey, to find out what they need to do to secure the win tonight.
The Leflore Rattlers have to be slithering snakes. And the BC Rain Red Raiders have to establish momentum early. When you establish early momentum, it gives you a lot more confidence as a team, and they outscore people in the first quarter, equates to a win. Reigning special teams, I mentioned they were down to the 3rd string center. Flipping the field is important for BC Rain. They had 3 punts blocked earlier in the season against Faith Academy. They don't want that to happen tonight. Winning the turnover battle, you want to be on the plus side of that. If you're the Red Raiders, for sure, you want to force Leflore into some long down and distance situation or some ill-advised throws or rip the ball away. If you're the Leflore Rattlers, on the other hand, I talk about being slithering snakes. What do I mean by that? We'll see an offense tonight that was resurrected during their bye week that really gave Viger a different look and will give BC Rain a different look tonight. We'll talk about what that offense is coming up momentarily. Limiting penalties is very important for the Leflore Rattlers. They had a lot of penalties 1 week ago, and they want to tackle at the point of attack. They can't miss a lot of tackles and allow yards after contact to be huge for the Red Raiders.
All right, Corey, you're right about that, because for Coach Renato Jackson, he's trying to pick up his first win. Leflore is on a 20-game losing streak, and he's just trying to get his first victory tonight, Corey.
And that's going to be huge when you start talking about getting the first win for the Leflore Rattlers. What it does for your confidence is amazing.
All right, let's head over and check out your impact players. Who's going to have an impact on this ball game tonight for both of these teams, Corey?
You always talk about Bryce Dowling. We call him the human bowling ball for the BC Rain Red Raiders. He's so low and compact, and he runs so hard once he gets past the line of the scrimmage. Does not shy away from contact. Kicker Joel Hernandez also is back for the Red Raiders. He's a junior, and he's comfortable kicking anywhere from 35 to 40 yards, but he also has the ability to flip the field for the Red Raiders. So special teams, always that third phase that's so very important in winning games. For the Leflore Rattlers, let's talk about their quarterback, D'Antonio Lusher. He's a young man that's only a sophomore, 6'5" in frame. He looks the part, and he plays the part for Renato Jackson and this Rattler team. Number 66, Cornel Gavin. This young man, we call him the Iron Man. Played 115 out of 126 snaps. Wow. A week ago for the Leflore Rattlers. Played center, played running back, also played defensive lineman. we'll see him a lot tonight as well.
I was wondering how you come up with those numbers, but it makes sense, Corey, because he's playing both sides of the ball as center and nose guard. Let's take it down to the sidelines and check in with Kimberly Dunn for our BSN weather forecast. What's going on, Kim?
Hey guys, you couldn't ask for a better night for football tonight. It is absolutely gorgeous. We're going to be starting off kickoff around 78 degrees, and it even feels cooler than that here on the field. Although humidity is about in the 50s, we will only have a very slight breeze at about 4 miles per hour, but you couldn't ask for better conditions for football. We know that we had rain earlier today, but that rain has come and gone, and we are looking at clear skies for the rest of the night.
Thank you, Kimberly. We appreciate that. Weather is feeling great, Corey. And speaking of the weather, we talked about Leflore's 20-game losing streak. I was talking to the PA guy before the game tonight, DeMarcus Smith, and I said, DeMarcus, you know when Leflore won their last game, I did the PA. That night, Corey, you typically do the PA, but you were hosting your radio show, and I had to come down. That was during Sally and Zeta time. Leflore played on a Monday, October 12th. They beat Alberta 48-41, and DeMarcus said, man, you see, I said that was the last time they won, dude. They've lost 20 in a row.
It's a long time coming for the Rattlers. They come in and they produce, and there's a lot of subplots that we'll talk about going into this game from a coaching standpoint, an assistant coaching standpoint, but the Leflore Rattlers are definitely hungry for a win tonight.
And speaking of hungry, we had a great ball game last week out of Baker. It was MGM and Baker, and man, it was quite a contest, but it really sets up quite an interesting scenario for tomorrow night for the Vikings. We'll take a look at the 7A Region 1 schedule. So, Corey, here it is what it comes down to. Looking at the region records, MGM 3-2, Daphne 3-2. MGM has beat Baker, but they really need to get that win against Daphne, which would pretty much solidify them making the playoffs in over 20 years.
And what's amazing, you start talking about the turnaround for the Mary G. Montgomery Vikings. Starting off 0-4, trying to win their 5th game in a row, and what would be even more sweeter for the head coach of the MGM Vikings, Zach Golson, is to do it against the team that he coached at last year as the offensive coordinator, now taking that new position as head coach for the Vikings. They secured that historic win a week ago against Baker in the Battle of West Mobile, but again, controlling your own destiny
literally
at this time
controlling
in the year.
And as you see, Baker is off, and they have to travel to Fairhope next week, so Baker still has an opportunity. But if MGM gets that win against Daphne tomorrow, it's really going to kind of create a real crazy log jam, but it's pretty much going to solidify MGM making the playoffs for the most part.
And that's what you tell your players. Look, we have won 4 games in a row, but we can't guarantee this 5th. We're going to have to come out. The only thing that's going to favor the Vikings is the fact that it's on their own home field.
That is correct.
It is in Sims, Alabama, so that'll be a phenomenal game tomorrow night.
It sure will. I told Randy Kennedy on my radio interview yesterday, I'm sure the city of Sims might shut down tomorrow for the game as we take a look at Mike Beckton getting ready for the coin flip here. About 7 minutes away from toe to leather, Corey. This is going to be an interesting ball game tonight. We've set it up earlier. BC Rain really needs to get the win tonight, but Leflore, they just want a win, period, as they come in winless this season so far.
Yeah, when you start looking at being 0 for, and you mentioned being 0 for 20, it's not like these Rattlers don't put in the same type of work that every other school does, and you never like to see a team go and winless on the season, but unfortunately for the Rattlers, that's been the case the last couple of years. And again, they played a phenomenal game against Viger. We're leading them 7-0 going into the 4th quarter. Just couldn't find a way to hold on. Depth has become a factor, and also our injuries, 11 injured players for the Leflore Rattlers, which cuts into your ability to have a lot of depth.
All right, as you can see right there, BC Rain has won the coin toss. They've declined, so they'll get the ball in the 2nd quarter. We'll come back with the kickoff as Leflore will receive for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week, a special Thursday night edition. Don't you move.
Mobile County Public Schools, the place that has it all. We have 90 schools that include rural, urban, and suburban schools of various sizes. We are also home to Alabama's first public school. We welcome you to come join our winning team. Our district is led by the 2020 Superintendent of the Year, Mr. Cressel D. Threadgill. Our teachers are leaders in their profession who are afforded numerous professional development opportunities. Our principals are collaborators and encouragers. Our schools are leading in innovation and instruction. And most importantly, our students who are learning today, leading tomorrow, are simply the best. If you want to live in a historically rich city near beautiful beaches with superb Southern hospitality, we invite you to come teach with the best. Team MCPSS.
The Mobile County Public Schools Signature Academies program offers a variety of specialized curriculum for highly interested and motivated students. These academies provide students with choices ranging from aviation to healthcare, advanced information technology to international studies, from engineering to coastal studies. These high-quality hands-on programs prepare students for careers readily available in Mobile County. Signature Academies program. It starts with us.
We welcome you to legendary Lad People Stadium for a special Thursday night edition of the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. BC Rain enters the game knowing a third region win gets them closer to securing a playoff spot. And for Leflore, they just need a win, point blank, period, as the Rattlers are winless under first-year head coach Renato Jackson. Could this be the night he secures his first head coaching win? And how cool will it be to do it on homecoming night? Thanks for tuning in. I'm Al Whedon along with Corey LeBounty. Covering the sidelines, we have Kimberly Dunn. And Corey, as we saw in the pregame kickoff show, BC Rain won the coin toss. They declined. So Leflore is going to come out receiving the ball first, and it's going to be quite a look for the Rattlers. I'm going to say something we haven't seen from a county school in quite a while, Corey.
Well, that will be the old-fashioned wing tee offense being resurrected by offensive coordinator Ryan Powell and head coach Renato Jackson. They got together during their off week, which was prior to the Viger Wolves game, and really gave Viger a look at something they had not seen all year long.
Right.
Now, BC Rain, their opponent, has seen the wing tee in action, but it was in week 0 of high school football. So here it is. We'll see exactly how BC Rain decides to defend this wing tee and how Ryan Powell decides to attack former Leflore head coach Sean Burney.
And Corey, Leflore, BC Rain was not by themselves. I was watching some YouTube highlights and video of the BC Rain Excel game just the other day to kind of prepare myself for the wing tee as well, having never seen it in person, especially from one of the county schools. So this should be quite an interesting matchup here for both the teams. Back to receive for Leflore to Matra Wright and Leon Rocker, as Khalil Pirine sets up to kick us off here for a special Thursday night edition of the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
Well, you start talking about Leflore and what this means on senior night. You start having a lot of alumnus come back to this game, a nice crowd getting ready to file in, the only game in town.
Short kick by Pirine. Wright scoops it up, but he's being forced back by the Red Raiders, cannot get his progress going. Take a look at that Leflore offense. The Rattlers offense has switched to a wing tee, as we said, due to some injuries. So quarterback D'Antonio LeSure may not throw too much tonight. He has just over 500 yards through the air with 1 touchdown and 4 interceptions. Carrying the ball will be running back Severio Singleton. He averages 4.5 yards per rush. When the Rattlers do pass, look for wide receiver Jeremiah Davis to haul it in. Up front, the offensive line features 2 experienced seniors, one of them right guard Darion Pugh, and the Rattlers offensive line averages 244 pounds. And it looks as if we have a stoppage in play.
It's going to be a false start.
And that does appear to be not our first play, but our first flag of the ball game. Mike Beckton and the crew, talked to him before the game. Corey, he was the white hat last year for this exact matchup at Ladd Stadium.
And it looks like on the far sidelines,
right,
they're also going over to take care of the chain gang. Looks like the chains may have a little problem with their movement being stuck, but maybe I don't know. I don't see an official flag on the ground, so they may have notified the officials prior to the stoppage of play.
There was an issue with the actual chain at near the down marker on that side. Looks like basketball coach Jeffrey Pope over there trying to help out too, Corey.
Absolutely, and you ask your coaches to chip in, and that's exactly what we have. So no penalty flag. Looks like they just had problems with the down and distance markers, and now we're ready for our first official play of the game from the line of scrimmage.
Leflore starting off on their 23-yard line. As they hand off to Rocker. Leon Rocker is tackled for a loss, about a 5-yard loss on the play. It's going to be 2nd and long coming up here for the Rattlers.
Well, what you start looking at is your linebackers, Justin Harper and Ricky Nichols, getting inside those gaps. It's going to be so very important to watch the guards for the Leflore Rattlers, and those guards are going to be number 50 Ryan Hill and Darion Pugh. The linebackers are going to key on them, and we'll see how the BC Rain Red Raiders attack it, whether it's a bare front with 5 defenders or how they decide to go ahead and defend this wing T.
Little pitch to Severio Singleton. I thought he was going to throw it, but he is tackled. Picks up about 1 yard. That gets the Rattlers maybe 1 yard closer. We'll call it 3rd down and about 14 coming up here for Leflore on their first possession.
Well, the biggest thing with running the wing T, you don't want to get behind down and distance-wise.
You do not, no.
Which is exactly what we've seen here, as the Red Raiders have done a good job so far up front. We knew that they were probably going to start off and show multiple looks defensively. Defensive coordinator, again, Sean Burney, was the head football coach at Leflore last year, and they are now showing that 3-4, and they're going to walk up their linebackers to the line of scrimmage here.
3rd and 15, ball on the 14, hand off to B.J. Pleasant, and he is met at the line of scrimmage. It's 4th down coming up for the Rattlers.
Stopped by big number 99, Ashton Wright, the 6'3", 270-pound junior defensive tackle for the Red Raiders, is going to force the Leflore Rattlers to punt the ball away on their first possession of the contest.
Setting up near his own 45-yard line, returner Tristan Page, the punter for Leflore. I was told was going to be D'Antonio LaSure, the quarterback, and there he is finally as he steps back. They were kind of lined up in a pistol formation for a second. I didn't think they were going for it. And we have a flag on the play on the far side.
Snap, I'll start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
Pushes the Rattlers back 5 yards. So now we can officially say Mike Beckton and his crew on the call tonight. As we said earlier, they had this game last year. So LaSure gets near right, just inside of the goal line. High snap. That possibly could have been blocked, but he was smart, Corey. Kind of did the rugby-style kick, and a nice punt right to the 50-yard line by LaSure. Wow, what a save.
And I tell you, I don't know if we can look at this replay or not, but the BC Rain Red Raider was sitting on top of the kicker, and if he would have went ahead and tackled him, he kind of held up thinking that, all right, he goes airborne, Ricky Nichols commits itself, but what a great job of LaSure being able to get that punt away, knowing that, hey, all I have to do is to kick it away. I don't have to try to scramble. Now you flip the field and create a nice yardage situation for yourself to make BC Rain take over right at the 50-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 50. Amari Yelding, the quarterback, as he hands off on the run for the Red Raiders, going up the line. Emirion Davis for a big run, and late flags come in. Let's take a look at that offense. As we talked about quarterback Amari Yelding, he's a 45% passer. But the Red Raiders offense goes through running back Bryce Dowlin. Dowlin has just over 500 yards for the year. He's a bruising runner and averaged just under 8 yards per rush. Wide receiver KJ Simpson has returned. He was out injured a couple weeks ago, so look for Yielding to target him. Up front, the Red Raiders average 250 pounds and are led by junior center Jamarcus Coates. He grades out at 90% of his tackles, and he's a fire plug checking in at 5'10", 230 pounds. That flag against Leflore, and the Red Raiders are closer to the goal line.
Personal foul called against Leflore. A late hit out of bounds, and Marion Davis, the 5'7", 130-pound sophomore, from his H-back position, turns the corner, and now it's going to be 1st and 10, and you're looking at the ball right at the 16-yard line.
Red Raiders inside of the red zone after one play. They fake it to Dowlin. Yielding keeps it, weaving his way close to the 5, inside of the 5 as he is brought down. That's a first down. It'll set up 1st and goal for the Red Raiders as they come out exploding.
Defensive coordinator T.J. McCord for the Leflore Rattlers, and what has to happen is you just have to break down and make that tackle. You can't tackle these Red Raiders high. Yielding just reads the defense, and he goes ahead and takes the handoff and gets through 1, 2, 3 missed tackles by the Leflore Rattlers, and now the Red Raiders are 1st and goal.
Ball on the 4-yard line. They go to Dowlin. He's picking his spot, and that's going to be a touchdown as he hits pay dirt. A 4-yard score for Bryce Dowlin.
Made it look very easy, and on that quick change of possession in regards to how quickly that 15-yard penalty proved to be so costly in giving up free yardage. Leflore cannot afford to give away free yardage to this Red Raider club, and Dowlin founds pay dirt, and he bowls a strike early, the human bowling ball.
Hernandez on for the PAT. Kick is up, and it is good. It makes it over the crossbar. BC Rain strikes early. They're on top 7-0.
Our children with special needs deserve a place to play. That is why we are coming together to build the Miracle League of West Mobile Schmidt Family Park. It will include a special needs ball field and playground, regulation baseball and softball fields, and more. We have raised more than $1 million and construction will start soon, but we need your help to complete the project. Visit MCPSS.com/Miracle League to donate and to learn more. Any dollar amount will help bring a smile to a child's face. Together, we can make a miracle.
You're watching a special Thursday night edition of the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Al Whedon, Corley Bounty, and Kimberly Dunn on hand. And BC Rain out to an early 7-0 lead as Leflore is going to get their second chance to do something here. Touching the ball after a quick 3-and-out, Corey. BC Rain wastes no time as they hit pay dirt early.
Well, that's something if you're the Leflore Rattlers, you have to correct here on the second possession. Again, I mentioned earlier, in their first possession, getting ahead of down and distance, you must gain at least 2 or 3 yards on first down. You can't afford. Looks like there's a penalty on the kickoff as well.
Sure,
as
there's a couple
the
flags
officials are
out there.
talking about what exactly it is we're going to have.
Looks like a personal foul. That will be the second personal foul against the Rattlers tonight. And that's not how you want to start off your second.
Play, personal foul on the return team, 15-yard penalty, first down.
You don't want to start off your second series, now 15 yards in the hole. You got to play smart, Corey.
You cannot give up a 330 yards, and what you have is that personal foul. It's retaliation. You
Correct.
always catch the second person.
Sure
Could have
do.
been offsetting, but it was not, and because of it, you go ahead and put yourself deeper in your own territory, taking over right at the 12-yard line. They're going to actually mark it at the 13 for the Leflore Rattlers.
Rattlers playing out of a wing tee. They hand off to Singleton. Comes around the edge just inside of the numbers at the hash. Has a great run. That's a first down for Severio Singleton.
Severio Singleton, his 137th rushing attempt on the season, and he's going to pick up a Leflore Rattler first down. And again, I mentioned how important it is running this wing T that you go ahead and you get positive yardage on first down. And you control the clock as well.
About a 15-yard pickup for Singleton right there on the run. And Leflore taking their time, making the clock their ally as well. They pitch it out to Rocker. And Rocker is rocked and brought down. Let's take a look at that BC Rain defense. The Red Raiders play a 3-4 and are led by two big uns up front. Defensive tackle Ashton Wright and defensive end Tyler Simmons. Simmons is 6'2", and Wright checks in at 6'3", 270. In the middle is where the Red Raiders really do their work. Leading tackler Mike linebacker Ricky Nichols is a name we'll call a lot tonight, as well as Will linebacker Khalil Pirine. Coach Yelda described Pirine as a thumper, sharing, "He'll hit you." The Red Raiders defensive line averages 251 pounds.
You gained 1 yard on first down, and that's good. But again, 3 down linemen, and you're walking all 3 linebackers up to get into those gaps and attack it.
Handoff to Singleton. He was trying to hit the hole, but he ran into one of his own blockers. One of his own teammates was impeding his progress.
And Singleton is only a sophomore, 5'6", 172 pounds. Again, runs extremely hard for Leflore, bringing up a 3rd down, and we'll call it 7 yards to go. And if you're BC Rain, you have to be honest here, because, again, I can show you the wing T, and I can still have the ability to throw out of it. So the cornerbacks definitely cannot go to sleep if you're the Red Raiders.
Yep, you got to be careful.
Ball watching.
Got to be careful if you're cheating up, because they could burn one and drop it behind the secondary. 3rd and 6 coming up here for the Rattlers, and they are looking to pass. LeSure going deep. That pass incomplete as he was trying to get it out to Michael Luttrell. I hope Luttrell's okay. He ran it to the 10, but he bounced back up. I'm sorry, not Luttrell on that, to Matra Wright. And Wright bounces right back up.
But you see the ability to throw out of it. You go ahead and you show run, and all of a sudden you uncork one. So that's what I mentioned. The corners definitely have to stay awake and be alert. But now, again, with that pass, it stops the clock, and the Red Raiders are going to get an opportunity to get it back.
Second punt of the night coming up here for the Rattlers, as Tristan Page is going to set up on his own 36-yard line. Rattlers taking their time, approaching 10 seconds on the play clock. And they were going to have a trick play, but Corey, I think it may be is it a timeout? No, that's a flag on the far side.
Wow, Al.
And they had an
opportunity to get it.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
They had it, Corey. That pushes them back 5 yards.
That hurts in regards to now you've shown them something special that you probably can't run again. That's a special situation that coaches have circled. Now, you can show a different formation, but perfectly designed. Just because of the penalty now, you're going to have to definitely punt this football away.
LeSure gets the punt off. And it's going to be down near the 31 or 32-yard line.
And you have to hate that if you're the Rattlers.
You definitely do, Corey. Make sure you check out Firehouse Subs, where you can enjoy more subs and save more lives. A portion of subs purchased at Firehouse will go to the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation. So visit our friends Jim and Susie Sherman at the Greenlight Road Firehouse Subs location. Also, thanks to BSN Sports, where you can get team apparel and equipment from badminton to wrestling and all sports in between. BSN Sports, the heart of the game, online at bsnsports.com. 1st and 10 coming up for the Red Raiders at their own 32-yard line.
If you're the Red Raiders, you want to do what you did in the first drive. Just attack this Leflore defense. You want to make sure, Leflore, you do a better job of wrapping up and tackling at the point of attack.
Quick pass out to K.J. Simpson. And he is close to the first down marker. Let's see where they're marking at.
Simpson, the 5'8", 175-pound senior, with the reception from Amari Yelding, the 6', 197-pound junior. And again, another first down for the Red Raiders.
As we look at that Leflore defense, they play a 3-4, and the defensive line averages 244 pounds. We'll get back to it after this play. Almost a keeper by Yelding, but he tosses it back to Simpson, and we have a flag on the play as Simpson is tackled near the 50. That Leflore defense, told you it averages about 244 pounds. Nose guard Cornell Gavin also plays center for the Rattlers, and defensive end Jeremiah Connolly is the team's leading tackler. Inside linebacker B.J. Pleasant is the most experienced backer for the Rattlers and will play sideline to sideline. Out of the secondary, cornerback Tamatro Wright has snagged 2 picks this season for Leflore.
And if you're Leflore, you want that penalty to be against the Red Raiders because you want to put them in a difficult down and distance situation for first down play. You can't afford for it to be against you, and it's going to be an eligible man.
On the white team.
So that will go against
penalty, first down.
BC Rain will push him back. First penalty against the Red Raiders tonight. As we talked about, Leflore having picked up 2 personal foul penalties already at the 5:42 mark here in the first quarter. Homecoming and senior night for the Rattlers tonight. Great crowd on hand for Thursday night edition of the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. 1st and 15 from the 37 for BC Rain. They hand it off to Davis, and Davis met behind the line of scrimmage. Great tackle by the Rattlers.
Bryant Pleasant, the inside linebacker, 5'11", 221-pound senior, shooting the gap and doing an outstanding job of making sure he wraps up the ball carrier. And now you're looking at close to a 2nd down and 22 yards to go for the Red Raiders.
Ball sitting at the 34-yard line. Davis, Dowdland in the backfield with Yelding. He dumps it, and I believe he may have been out of bounds when he caught it, Corey.
He was out of bounds.
Tristan Page, he caught it, but he was out of bounds, so that's going to be 3rd down coming up for BC Rain.
If you're Leflore, don't let anything get behind you right here. Make sure that you're wrapping up and tackling, forcing BC Rain to go ahead and punt. But this is money down now. This is what's important. As we took a look at the replay, Yelding doing a great job of climbing the pocket, trying to complete that pass, just out of bounds, out of the outstretched hands, and not able to bring it down in bounds.
So Ladd is calling it 3rd and 20 for the Red Raiders. Ball sits at the 34. Yelding has time. He has time. He does have a man, and it's too high as he overthrew his receiver. Dylan Robinson, and actually there were 2 Red Raiders in vicinity next to each other, Corey.
Well, Dylan Robinson kind of mistimed his jump in that situation to where if he would have waited just one more moment, he would have had a catch and yards after catch. But Leflore is going to force the Red Raiders to have their first punt of the night. And what they need to do is make sure they'll receive outstanding field position. Just don't want to commit any silly penalties here.
So Vario Singleton setting up. And he waits for the fair catch, and he's going to down it at about the 32. So the punt by Page. Very good punt right there. Leflore on their 3rd possession of the night. Hasn't really shown too much with the offense. They have attempted a couple of passes, and the run's been somewhat decent, but the penalties, Corey, they have to clean it up.
Well, what has to happen is Jalen Lewis, Ryan Hill, Cornell Gavin, Darion Pugh, and Deshaun Foreman. That's going to be your offensive line up front. And what they're going to have to do is get that type of push here because, again, the defense, led by defensive coordinator Sean Burney's doing a wonderful job of go ahead and showing that 5-man front. He's got 3 guys with their hands in the dirt, and he's walking up your corners and your linebackers here at the line of scrimmage.
They hand off to Singleton. He kind of slips on the turf. Looked like the turf monster got him. That's about a 2-yard loss right there.
Ricky Nichols is ultimately going to get credit for that tackle, and this is a young man who had 22 tackles against the Viger Wolves, and he's a 5'11", 200-pound sophomore, and he is very versatile at his linebacker position. But again, the key to the wing T is gaining positive yardage on first and second down, to where you make it to where you know the Leflore Rattlers are going to have to throw it on third down if they're not able to get half of this yardage back.
Ball sits at the 29, 2nd and 12 coming up here for Leflore. And we have a stoppage. Coach Renato Jackson can't believe it. He's yelling out to the players near the 30-yard line.
And I know what he's screaming about. I think the play clock had 3 seconds. He's going to say false start. But again, the play clock had 3 seconds remaining on it. So we knew it wasn't a delay of game call, because they going to take as much time off the clock as they can. And Renato's talking to the side judge right now about that.
So that pushes them back 5. It'll be 3rd down and 12 coming up here for the Rattlers. Line of scrimmage is the 24-yard line. They need to gain to the 41 to pick up a first down. LeSure goes back to pass, pressure's on him, and he's just going to run out of bounds between the 25 and the 30 as he just eats it. Great coverage in the secondary by the Red Raiders. He couldn't find anyone.
But I love D'Antonio's decision not to force the football, knowing that nothing was there from a wide receiver standpoint. Get as many yards as you can and just go ahead and live the play at 3rd down and close to 19 yards to go.
They're going to mark him back a bit farther than we thought. Looks like the line of scrimmage is going to be the 23-yard line. And correct that, Corey, that was 2nd down. This is 3rd down. And I think Coach Renato Jackson wants to talk about it at 3rd and 20 as he takes the timeout right now.
Officially, they're going to make it 3rd and 18 from where it's going to be, but those 2 yards really don't make a difference for you in regards to how you're going to offensively come up with the play. You have not completed a pass. Now, you've had a couple of attempts or a couple of formations out of the wing T where you wanted to pass it, but nothing was there for you from a completion standpoint.
BC Rain defeated Leflore 39-0 last year. And Corey, with that win last year, that was their 3rd region win. BC Rain went to lose 3 more region games, but it was enough to get in. As we like to say, they beat the right teams they needed to do to get into the playoffs. So if a win tonight is accomplished by BC Rain, it gets them closer. They haven't been to the playoffs in back-to-back years since 2002, 2003. So that would be an accomplishment for the Red Raiders right there in itself.
Well, that's what you're hoping for, and you're talking about a few years ago when Tellis Stone led this Red Raiders team into the 3rd round of the playoffs, having a couple of upsets here at Lab Peoples Stadium, trying to restore that type of tradition that was established. And again, now you're at 3rd down and 18 yards to go. The corners for the Red Raiders have to make sure they don't let any of these receivers get behind you.
So no wing T right here. We're working out of the pistol formation. Singleton behind LeSure. They're going with the draw play, and LeSure is met right at the line of scrimmage and wrapped up. It's 4th down now.
Khalil P. Ryan, the 5'5", 200-pound sophomore, was Johnny on the spot from his outside linebacker position and made sure he wrapped up the ball carrier after gaining maybe 2 yards on that play.
He provided the thump, as Coach Yielding said. He's a thumper. Well, Leflore looking to punt here. This will be their 3rd punt of the night as they shift into position. Right at 5 seconds on the play clock. Once again, Nichols breaks through, Corey, and this time he tackles LeSure. And that is going to be a major loss. They're going to spot it at the 15. Red Raiders already in the red zone.
What Ricky Nichols learned from the first punt to where he went airborne and could not gather himself, Look at what he did right here, folks.
Stayed
went
grounded.
ahead and stayed fundamentally sound.
Stayed grounded, yep.
And Leflore had no one to throw that football to, was covered up, and the best defender on the field for the Red Raiders wraps them up and puts the Red Raiders in red zone opportunity scoring-wise.
It's a turnover on downs, but it's almost as if it was a turnover, a fumble or interception. So 1st and 10 from the 15 as they hand it to Davis. And he gains maybe 1 or 2. 2nd down coming up here for BC Rain. They need to get to the 5 to get a 1st down as we're under 2 minutes here left in the 1st quarter.
Brian Pleasant on the stop. Again, he's been with his 2nd tackle tonight, but the Red Raiders are able to, again, get at least 1 yard, getting that ball evenly up to the 14-yard line.
Looks like Ricky Nichols is in on offense right now, providing some blocking for Davis as he is met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Rattlers defense bowing up.
Roderick Dortch, 5'5", 198-pound junior. The inside linebacker makes the stop. And again, defensive coordinator TJ McCord cheering his defense on here to get this red zone stop. And it's money down now.
Back-to-back runs by the Red Raiders. Appears as if they're setting up the pass right here. Dowling just to the left of Yielding. Rolling out to his strong side. Thought he was going to throw it away, kind of forced it in a bit, but the pass incomplete. 4th down coming up for BC Rain as he was trying to connect with Antonio Williams. So decision time here for Coach Yielding. Will he go for it or will he bring out the kicker? Let's take a look and see.
Well, Hernandez, he mentioned that he feels good with him kicking from 35 to 40, but he's going to roll the dice here. Maybe see if he can get Leflore to jump off sides and get him a little bit closer with 43 seconds remaining here in the 1st quarter.
Play clock approaching 10 seconds. Quarterback Amari Yielding is the son of head coach Lawrence Yielding, and they are going for it. Yielding has a guy in the corner. That will be Tristan Page, and Page hauls it in. 15-yard pass from Yielding to Page, and BC Rain extends the lead.
4th down and 10, and the Rattlers give up the touchdown. And I know that's something that they'll look in film study and really talk about at halftime, regretting the opportunity to come away with that stop, especially with it being 4th down. Now, the Red Raiders could have gotten the 1st, but to give up a touchdown, that's huge.
Hernandez's extra point is up and good. And Corey, we talked about it. It's not a turnover, but almost like a turnover. It was turnover on downs, and BC Rain capitalized.
Outstanding throw in the corner of the end zone for that touchdown.
Let's take it down to the sidelines. Kimberly Dunn has a guest with her.
That's right. I'm here with Leflore's principal, Dr. Williams. How are you doing this evening?
I'm great. How about yourself?
We're doing wonderful. Thank you so much for letting us come tonight with you. Can you tell us about some exciting things that are going on at Leflore?
Yes, we're really excited about the things that's going on at Leflore High School. We're implementing our new magnet program as well as a new signature academy, which is called FAME for Fine Arts and Media Entertainment. And so we're just super excited about the things that we're offering our students right now.
Can you tell us a little bit more specifically about some of the things that you're offering at the school?
Yeah, so with FAME, most of the programs are geared towards media entertainment, such as broadcasting, some podcasts, digital art, and then most of the performing arts are your, we offer various genres of dance, various genres of band. We have orchestra band, symphonic band, as well as concert and marching band, as well as choral music.
And then you also have like a law program at your school. Can you tell us a little?
Yeah, so one of the great things that we're able to do this year is not only were we able to add new programs, but we also were able to keep some of the traditional programs that our kids love. So we still have our law program, which is a fan favorite, as well as our health science program as well.
Want to learn more about the
Awesome. So we have an open house scheduled for the first Saturday in November for any parent who's interested in our Magnet program. And so we want to encourage as many parents to come out to that. But then we also, for our current parents, we have a very active PTSA or PTA. And so we want to encourage parents to get involved with that as well.
All right. Well, we are excited about everything that's going on at Leflore, and we wish you the best of luck this evening.
Thank you so much, and go Rattlers.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Kimberly. The interview with Dr. Antonio Williams, principal at Leflore, as Savario Singleton had quite an interesting run, but a couple of flags on the play.
And it's either going to be a block in the back or a holding. You can kind of pick your poison if you're the Red Raiders. I think that it's going to be a block in the back first, but you look at the running back, Singleton, showing his great balance and speed on that play, staying on his feet. And they are going to go with the block in the back called against Leflore. And what that does do, down and distance-wise, right here at the end of the run, he hit the hole with a great job. But here comes your block in the back right there by the wide receiver.
Replay first down.
And that was the call, as you heard Mike Beckton telling us. And once again, Leflore not playing clean, shooting themselves in their own foot. 10 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Al Wheaton, Corley Bounty, and Kimberly Dunn, as you just saw her on the sidelines. This will be the last play. It looks as if this will be the last play coming up here in the first quarter.
It is a hot clock, meaning that the clock will continue to run. So this will be the final play, or the last play that we just saw of the quarter.
I don't think they're going to get it off. We're going to take a break and come back, and we'll give you a second quarter action. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week, a special Thursday night edition.
If you're looking for fun, fashionable, and affordable jewelry, it's here. It's Paparazzi. We have a variety of colors and styles of bracelets, rings, necklaces, and earrings for all occasions and for every event. New styles are added daily, which means you are always up to date with the latest fashion. For that genuine bling, join me, Charmaine Watson, the real jewelry lady, on Facebook Live Sunday through Thursday at 7 p.m. It's cute, it's fun, it's fashion, it's $5, it's Paparazzi.
We welcome you back to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. And here is the MCPSS Middle School Football playoffs. The setup as Scarborough defeated Washington and Burns defeated Williamson, setting up the championship game for Scarborough and Burns. It'll be Thursday, October 19th, and live right here on the MCPSS TV network. And I know my buddy next to me, Matt Moore, is not too happy about that graphic. Sorry, that'll be Thursday, October the 20th. I know Matt Moore's not too happy about that, Corey, as it's Pillins. Kids aren't in the playoffs there.
It was a game last week that I had a chance to see China Powell and Matt Moore. China Powell being the athletic director at Scarborough and Matt being the head coach at Pillins, and they battled each other in the sunshine, and China has bragging rights.
Yeah, she's got the bragging rights for the next year coming up. First down, 20 yards to go for Leflore. Ball at the 14-yard line as we start the second quarter. Ended it with a penalty, a block in the back committed by the Rattlers. Hand off to B.J. Pleasant up the middle. And I see Nichols in on that tackle with a few more, Corey.
Well, anytime you get the push at the line of scrimmage, you have to make sure that you put a hat on the defensive tackle, Ashton Wright, 6'3", 270-pound junior. And again, keep an eye on the guards for Leflore, your left guard and your right guard, because if you're a defensive lineman, you can read what they're doing. You can almost see which way the play is going to go. And again, Sean Burney's done a wonderful job here so far of getting his defense ready for this awkward offense that you don't see a lot of in high school football.
A look at the Leflore marching Rattlers right there as they continue to do battle with the Red Raiders, with the bands going at it.
$11-10 remaining here in the second quarter, and the Red Raiders really have had an opportunity to dominate time of possession.
Timeout called by BC Rain. Take a look at our first quarter stats provided by our buddy Matt Moore As you can see right there, the rushing not where Leflore really needs it to be, Corey. Only 14 yards, no passing yards because they have not completed anything, but a somewhat balanced attack by BC Rain, a bit more on the ground. One big carry by Marion Davis, remember on the first handoff from the 50 as he took it into Leflore territory.
Well, in my checklist in the pregame, we talked about one of the things that Leflore had to do, which was limit penalties. And so far, they have not been able to do that, as we've had 5 penalties for 40 yards called against LHS.
Second down and 19 coming up for Leflore. DeSure taking his time. They decide to pass, and that pass is complete to Tamatra Wright. And you can see the arm strength of LeSure right there. Throws a big rainbow, gets him down to about the 42-yard line.
The biggest thing about that completion, Al, is that he kept the football in play, in bounds. Again, as a corner, you see run, then all of a sudden, you see him throw it in the air. The speed by Wright to get behind the defensive back for the Red Raiders is huge on that play. Dylan Robinson, 5'10", 165-pound junior, was beat on the play, but Leflore picks up a much-needed first down.
Ball sitting at the 38-yard line of BC Rain, 1st and 10, and that's the first completed pass for LeSure tonight. Singleton with the carry as he barrels forward for about 8 or 9 yards. Maybe 10. Let's see where they spot him at.
Bryce Dowdland, the human bowling ball, playing a little bit of both ways for the Red Raiders. Number 1 in white comes away with this nice tackle, but the Rattlers pick up back-to-back first downs for the first time in the first half, and that will help control the clock and time of possession, give your defense a little bit more time to rest and recoup.
Sets them up at the 28-yard line of the Red Raiders, and the Rattler faithful starting to come alive here. Hand off to Rocker. He picks up 1 or 2, and out of the pile comes Bryce Dowdland, and I don't see any officials stopping, and they're saying that could be a fumble. I don't see a beanbag on the field, Corey, but we have yet to see a sign from Mike Beckton or anyone.
It's a touchdown.
And there's the sign on the far side by the official. But there's one official back here near the 34, but the rest of the crew has walked to this side of the field, and there's the sign from Mike Beckton. So let's look at the replay, see if the ball where it came out at. And it appears as if they just ripped it out. There it is right there. They ripped it out.
Great job of the officials not blowing it dead. And you need to be at Bryce. Watch him stop right here instead of running through the tape. He's not sure what's going on. And then all of a sudden he stops, turns around, and sees that the officials and his teammates are behind him. Leon Rocker, the 5'9", 177-pound sophomore, had the ball ripped away, and again, Coach Saban calls that the can opener drill, to where you just go ahead and keep tugging, and as your teammates are on top, you rip the ball away, and a scoop and score for the Red Raiders.
That's what it is. Extra point is no good. Rain extends the lead. They're up 20-0 over Leflore. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
High school students, are you looking for a way to become a better leader? Then the Junior Officers Training Corps may be what you're seeking. If you would like to develop self-reliance, learn ways to be more responsible, and improve your communication skills, you can do that and more when you register for the Junior Officers Training Corps. The JROTC program is available to all high school students in Mobile County. JROTC, we build a better you.
Welcome back to legendary Lab People Stadium. Corey, we were just talking about how the air has just left the stadium here for the Rattlers fans.
And I don't know if we're able, after this kickoff, to take a look from a high angle shot of that play instead of getting it tight on Bryce, and to be able to see how the Red Raiders were able to respond. Because if you don't hear a whistle, you play until you hear a whistle. And I thought Bryce was going to stop and maybe run out of bounds with it, thinking that the play was dead. But he went ahead and turned around to see what was behind him. And we'll see exactly what happens here on the kickoff by the BC Reign Red Raiders. And so far, so good if you are a BC Reign Red Raider fan.
Re-kick.
So we'll have a re-kick from BC Reign coming up here. But that was smart of him to continue on, Corey, and not give up on the play. And the other key thing about that, none of the other Red Raider players committed any penalties. No blocks in the back, no crackback blocks or anything like that. And it was a clean play because we wanted to make sure no flags were on the field.
And you had 3 Red Raider defenders, again, 2 tackling and 1 trying to draw the ball away, was able to come away with it. And here it is, the Red Raiders on the re-kick. Leflore, we'll see if they're able to do anything with it.
Tamatra Wright takes it near the 25, cuts up the line, inside of the numbers. Great run back by Wright as he gets into Red Raider territory. There's a scoring drive right there by Bryce Dowling, 65 yards. Took off 14 seconds, and we do have a Red Raider down on the field. So they're going to stop and take a look at him.
Let's see if we can get that replay up of that scoop and score from high above and see if we see that shot. So we're not able to take a look at that replay as far as from that score for the Red Raiders, but it definitely was a clean strip of the football. And hopefully the young man who was down on the kickoff for BC Reign will be okay.
We'll take an injury timeout and come back. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
If you look at the numbers, Mobile County Public Schools is making great strides. With more than 53,000 students, 7,000 employees, and 90 schools, we are consistently increasing our 4-year graduation rate and our first-class pre-K program. We continue to strive for national recognition and continue to prepare our students for the global workforce. And we do all of this with one goal in mind, to equip and empower college and career-ready graduates. Mobile County Public Schools. We're learning today, leading tomorrow.
Parents, if you have a child who will be 4 years of age on or before September 1st, 2023, then mark your calendar to register for the Mobile County Public Schools First Class Pre-K program. Online registration for the 2023-24 school year opens January 15th, so don't miss this opportunity. Log on to MCPSS.com for more information and a complete listing of pre-K sites, screening, and selection info. First Class Pre-K registration, January 15th. Save the date.
At Mobile County Public Schools, we are learning today and leading tomorrow. Leading right now, BC Reign is on top 20-0 in the second quarter. Al Wheaton, Corley Bounty, and Kimberly Dunn bringing you the action.
That's your starting corner if you're BC Reign, Jamarcus Williams, who was helped off the field. So we'll see if Leflore is able to take advantage of that and possibly throw it or run it to his side.
First and 10 from the 28.
Yes.
LeSure back to throw again.
Yep.
Maybe they're trying to take advantage. They sure are, as they complete that pass to Tamatra Wright. He's doing a little dance. I don't see a flag. He may need to watch that, Corey.
You just catch the football. You're down 20-0. Catch the football and move on.
Another Red Raider down on the turf. I believe that could have been the young man who made the tackle.
Harper.
Can't quite see the number with the trainer.
I think it's Trayvon Gamble.
I think it's Trayvon Gamble. That would be unfortunate for BC Reign. Back-to-back players going down. And that's something you talked about at the top of the telecast as they've been down. Let's take a look at some middle school volleyball. Congratulations to Grand Bay Middle School Volleyball champions in the large school division. So congratulations to them on winning that championship. Also in the small school division, Denton Middle School picks up the volleyball championship. So congratulations to the ladies over at Denton as well. And coming up at halftime, we'll have our Chick-fil-A halftime trivia challenge. Kimberly Dunn will go into the stands and select a spectator and ask them a question. And hopefully they'll pick up on a Chick-fil-A prize pack. So stick around for that, for the Chick-fil-A halftime trivia challenge. They're continuing to take a look at that young man on the field. Corey, were you able to get a number?
Yeah, I think it is Trayvon Gamble, number 14 for the BC Rain Red Raiders.
That's Coach Yielding out there next to Mike Beckton as well. We'll take another injury timeout and come back, bring you some more action. They'll take a look at Mr. Gamble. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
This is a program for any middle school student who's actually behind. This opportunity offers kids a chance to do 2 grades in 1 year.
If it wasn't for Star Academy, I would still be in 8th grade and probably still struggling.
We are one-on-one. We have small classrooms, and we're able to give students that personal touch, that personal attention.
I know I'm coming to see good teachers, good attitude, and also they're here to teach us what we need to learn.
When parents are involved in school, you get more of this and less of this.
They've taken Gamble off the field, so we're back to action. 1st and 10 on the 49 of BC Rain. Handoff to Leflore, Singleton, as he plows forward for about 6 or 7. Nice pickup right there by Singleton.
And you start talking about Khalil P. Ryan along with Zion Hale from his defensive end position and P. Ryan from his linebacker position making the stop, but positive yardage on 1st down for Leflore. Probably only the 3rd time in the first half on 1st down where they've had something that was not behind the sticks.
They spotted at the 44. 2nd and 5 coming up here for the Rattlers, led by D'Antonio Leshure, the sophomore quarterback. B.J. Pleasant goes up the middle right through the A-gap. He picks up 1 or 2. I think they're going to credit him maybe 3, so 3rd down and short. So, Corey, this is the first time we've really seen the offense running and staying in front of the sticks here.
Give it to the up back, and that's a hard run. Ricky Nichols does an outstanding job from his linebacker position, making the stop and upending the offensive runner on the play. But 3rd and 2, you can roll the dice here if you're Renardo Jackson, trailing 20-0. Offensive coordinator Ryan Powell calling the shots from up top for Leflore, and execution right here in 3rd and short.
Rattlers in all green. Senior night and homecoming night. Up the middle, Pleasant tries to go, still keeps the legs going. They bend him over backwards. I think he's going to be short by just a little bit.
By at least a yard, you're right.
From what we're looking at atop the press box here at Ladd.
Going to be 1 yard short.
Yeah.
And you're going to have a great push here if you're Leflore. Because, again, you can't afford here on 4th and 1 to have a penalty. You are going to roll the dice with 7:45 remaining in the 2nd quarter of action. Renardo Jackson trusting his offensive line. Coach Ryan Powell coming up with the play, and with 10 seconds, if you don't get the play you want, you have timeouts in your pocket to where you can call it.
I mean, it's within a yard. I'm going to say maybe just a half yard, Corey. It could almost be a quarterback sneak if they want to go with it, and they do with Leshure. The most important thing to do is hold on to the ball so no one pokes it out, and that's going to be a 1st down for Leflore.
Great call right there, Al, in regards to the yardage needed for that quarterback. Yep. The safest thing to do is to give it to him, and Zion Hale makes the stop. But it's another Leflore 1st down, and we saw the last time they put back-to-back 1st downs together, the Red Raiders were able to strip, scoop, and score.
Right.
To increase their lead, and 20-0 here is our score in the 2nd quarter of action at Ladd Peoples Stadium.
Leflore and BC Rain have played each other 18 times. BC Rain leads the series 11-7, and they've won 3 straight games over the Rattlers. Leflore last defeated BC Rain back in 2018. Leshure back to pass, a bit high for his intended target on the play.
DeJuan
Leflore, his brother. I believe he is a junior on the team, so it's 2nd down and 10 coming up for Leflore.
Brother to brother, younger brother the quarterback, older brother the running back. And again, a very athletic family. And it's going to be 2nd down and 10, as I like to call on 1st down. It does stop the clock, but take your shots if they're presented to you.
Near halfway through the 2nd quarter, and up the middle goes Singleton, as Ricky Nichols just hops on for a piggyback ride as Singleton takes him near the 1st down marker, but a flag comes in toward the end of the play.
And you hope it's not a holding call if you're Leflore, because if it is, that's costly, as Singleton was able to run it there on 2nd and 10 and almost get 10 yards.
Personal foul against BC Rain, so that'll tack 15 on top of it, and it'll push Leflore into the red zone for the first time tonight.
Great hard running, and you're not able to tackle this young man up high.
Personal foul on the defense. Half distance to go, 1st down.
You see the late flag come in, but it is another 1st down for Leflore, a free 15. And I want to say that Renardo Jackson, coming over from Viger 1 year ago, bringing that championship pedigree, having to face the Viger Wolves a week ago, has done a tremendous job as Dr. Williams hires him as the new head football coach of Leflore, and he's had an opportunity to try to make his mark on this program, and he's going to do some great things for Leflore here.
1st down for the Rattlers, ball on the 14. Quarterback keeper for LeSure, but Ricky Nichols and the crew, they were waiting for him.
Well, a great job by Ricky Nichols, knowing that, again, against this wing T offense, you have to make sure that the linebackers have gap integrity, and they shoot the gap. And Ricky Nichols sits there, and he feels that window that is given to him, and he does an outstanding job of bringing down the running back.
BC Rain averages 12.3 points on offense, giving up 34.1 on defense, and they have already hit their average tonight, up 20-0. Al Weed, Corley Bounty, Kimberly Dunn on the sideline, statistician Matt Moore here in the press box with us at Ladd Stadium. 2nd and 9 whistles, and that's a smart call right there by Renardo Jackson. I think the play clock was about to expire, so Leflore takes their first time out here in the 1st half.
Well, what you want to do is you want to save down and distance, and you're able to do that now. It's 2nd down and 9 yards to go with 5:44 remaining. And that's a great timeout because you have them in your pocket. You can't take them to the locker room with you. Make sure you get everyone on the same page offensively, and now they have none remaining.
And that's why we have our statistician, Matt Moore. Apparently, Ladd is fooling me. Rain is not out of timeouts. Leflore is out of timeouts, Corey. So according to the scoreboard is incorrect at Ladd. Rain still has 3 timeouts remaining. So, and that is co-signed by AL.com's John Vela, by the way.
And that's what you have to have, you know, to make our production even better than it already is guys upstairs who really are in tune to the game. And with being in tune to the game for Leflore, you have to get positive yardage. And if you're BC Rain, I mentioned it, the corners against this wing T cannot fall asleep because Leflore has wide receivers who can go get it in single coverage, especially when you're talking about Tamatra Wright at the top of your screen, one-on-one coverage for him.
2nd and 9 from the 12. The Rattlers can pick up a 1st down without having to score right here. And Singleton almost wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage by Nichols. He escapes, but he gets back to the original line of scrimmage. So it's going to be 3rd down and 9 for the Rattlers.
Nichols slows the progress down, couldn't make the tackle, but Pirine made sure that he finished off the runner. And here with 5:20 now, you're looking at a 3rd down and 8 yards to go for Leflore.
Credit Singleton with 1 yard on the carry as LeSure and the Rattlers look to the sidelines. We talked about earlier running this wing T. You're in no hurry. The clock is your ally, but right now they're under 10 seconds. They need to get moving so they don't pick up a delay of game. And there it is right there, the delay of game. That's 5 yards, Corey. That's costly.
Last week against the Viger Wolves, we saw the Leflore Rattlers have several of these delay of games, and it's just something that you cannot have when you're trying to go ahead and get inside the red zone and execute inside the red zone. Those are precious opportunities, and so is the yardage for Leflore offensively.
Pushes them back to the 17. The line to gain is the 4 to pick up a first down. LeSure throws it. Little jump pass, but cannot bring it in. Jeremiah Davis had the biscuit in his hands and had his feet down, but couldn't complete the catch.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say Tristan Page, who has caught a touchdown for the Red Raiders at the last moment, gets his hand and squeezes the juice out of the football, and because of it, it is a touchdown that is taking off of the board, and it's 4th down and 12 yards to go now for Leflore. BC Rain scored a touchdown on 4th down earlier. Let's see if Leflore can score one.
He scored on 4th and 15. We have whistles, possibly a false start against the Rattlers.
Timeout.
No, a timeout has been called by BC Rain, so their first timeout of the ball game. Coach Yelding wants to discuss things. Very good observation right there, Corey. It was 4th and 15 on this same side of the field when BC Rain scored off of not a turnover, but a turnover on downs as Ricky Nichols tackled D'Antonio LeSure as he was attempting to punt.
Well, the worst thing that you can do on 4th down, you're not necessarily worried about them getting the first down because they can do so if they get to the 4-yard line. You're worried about giving up 6 points because, again, you're leading 20-0. You don't want to give up a touchdown on 4th down under any circumstances, especially when you're looking at 4th down and 12 yards to go.
Leflore averaging 5.4 points on offense. That offense giving up 30.9 points a contest on defense as well. So one thing about the Rattlers, they've been trying to get offense going this season. Let's see what's going to happen right here. 4th and 12 coming up for Leflore.
The Red Raiders giving up 24 points per game, but they don't want to give up 6 right here.
Trips to the top. Leflore working out of the pistol formation. High snap to LeSure. And he tries to get it to right, but it is intercepted by BC Rain inside of the 10. Jordan Vines coming away with the pick, but it was 4th down, so it's kind of like turnover on downs anyway, Corey.
Vines, the 5'10", 170-pound sophomore for the Red Raiders, takes advantage, and another turnover as it was a great coverage by the secondary, and really Vines was never down, and the officials had an angle to where they thought he was down, but Vines doing a tremendous job there, and a late flag on the interception return.
So the flag, I believe, came in before the interception. And it appears that they're going to mark this off against BC Rain, so Leflore may have life here, Corey.
4th and 12 was where we were.
During holding on the defense, 10-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
So holding called against BC Rain. Leflore, the recipient there, the gift is going to place them at the 9-yard line, so it'll be 4th and 5 coming up here after the penalty. So the Rattlers get a second chance. Let's check in with Kimberly Dunn. She has an injury update for us. What's up, Kim?
I was able to check in on the 2 injured players for BC Rain. Number 16, who sustained a leg and knee injury. They iced it and wrapped it up, and he will not be in for the rest of the game. Also, number 14 will not be able to return for this game either. So we will be looking out for both of those players for the rest of the season, and hopefully their injuries will get better and they'll be able to join their team next week.
Thank you, Kim. We appreciate that. Great coverage in the secondary, and LeSure had to eat it, but he's about 2 or 3 yards short of picking up the first down.
Well, what you have to do, you have to know where the down and distance is, and you have to go ahead and get north and south and stretch that football out because, again, great coverage and an outstanding job of pulling the football down by Leflore, but you have to know the yards to gain mark in order to get that first down, and because he wasn't able to do that, you're going to be at a turnover on downs, but, again, just needed 2 more yards to pick up that first and goal situation, and BC Rain's going to have it trying to march the length of the field, almost 90, close to 96.
94 yards.
94 yards officially.
Leflore started that drive on the 28-yard line, their own 28, and it stops at the 9, and they get no points out of that series. Yelding throws it, completes the pass to his receiver. Antonio Williams goes out of bounds, stops the clock for about a 6-yard gain. Second down coming up here for the Red Raiders.
Your defensive coordinator, Sean Burney, you're ecstatic, especially after that 4th down penalty, and your defense finds a way to hold on. And if you're Leflore, their defensive coordinator, TJ McCord, wants to make sure no more points by the bowling ball, busting out a big one. We've seen him do it before, and again, plenty of time for the Red Raiders to march down the field and wear out this Leflore defense.
As Dowling goes up the middle right there. Here's a replay, 7-yard pickup on that pass to Williams. Set them up, and that first down after the run from Dowling, and they're going to move the chains. 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders. Ball at the 17-yard line. Red Raiders just taking their time. We're within 4 minutes right here of halftime. Davis and Dowling next to Yelding. And they give it to Dowling on a little counteraction as he crosses the 25 up to the 26. Nice run by Bryce Dowling.
That's what we'll see a lot of here this last 3:30 of the quarter because, again, if he gets to that second level, past the line of scrimmage, you'll be able to see the type of speed that this 5'7", 195-pound junior does possess.
See if Coach Yeldon's going to go for the 2-for-1 if they can get points here because they will receive the ball in the third quarter as they declined to receive to start the game off after winning the coin toss. 3rd and 1 from the 26. They fake it to Davis, fake it to Dowling. Yeldon's going to keep it. He's trying to stretch it out. Let's see where his forward progress is going to be marked at. He's close, Corey. From
really
my vantage point, he is close.
And I think they're going to go ahead and give it to him, but that's a wonderful stop by this Leflore defense when you start talking about being able to tackle right at the line of scrimmage, and the Red Raiders are able to
first
move
down
the sticks.
So his progress was just enough as they spot it at the 27-yard line. Marion Davis goes into motion out of the backfield. Yelding has plenty of time, airs it out. Ball is underthrown, and it is intercepted by Leflore. Looks like Tamatra Wright came down with it. Double check that number. Wright does play cornerback for the Rattlers, and that is 7. So we have a turnover by BC Rain at 2:13, and the Leflore faithful go wild.
And you're looking at Yeldon, he goes ahead and has plenty of time, and I guarantee he would like to have that throw back because it was a jump ball situation. It was high-pointed by Wright. The 5'7", 155-pound senior comes away with his 3rd interception of the season, putting Leflore back in business here with 2:13 remaining in the second quarter of action. No timeouts remaining, so you have to make sure that you get the play call in on time, and you don't want to get behind here early from a down and distance situation.
1st and 10, balls placed at the 39-yard line of BC Rain. Their first turnover tonight. Play action out of this wing tee. Leflore is just going to keep it and step out of bounds. picks up maybe 3 or 4. They're going to mark him at the 35. Pushing it back just a bit, maybe to the 37. So a 2-yard pickup for Leflore. 2nd down and 8 coming up for the Rattlers.
Smart job of getting out of bounds and not throwing the football into the BC Reign Red Raider defense. Just take what the defense gives you. If you can get out of bounds, you do stop the clock with no timeouts remaining.
We had the same ball game last year, Corey, and you can see the maturity level that has grown with Leflore as he was a freshman last year leading this Leflore offense. Hands off to Singleton, who's met basically right at the line of scrimmage, but he falls forward for about 1 or 2. 3rd down and about 5 or a long 6 coming up here for the Rattlers.
And Ashton Wright, again from his defensive tackle position, being very active as he's continuing to pursue the football and really control the line of scrimmage. Does a great job of his angles and pursuit of the football.
Ball sitting squarely right at the 35-yard line as we're approaching 90 seconds remaining here in the first half. BC Reign on top 20-0. Leflore gains possession after a Tamatra Wright interception of Amari Yelding. Ball was underthrown. Can Leflore capitalize? Tosses it up, and that's going to be a touchdown to DeJuan Leflore, the brother of Antonio Leflore, a 35-yard touchdown pass.
Brother-to-brother connection, and what happens if you're a corner, you get peeking into the back of the running backs, and because of it, you allow the wide receiver to blow by you and get behind you, and it's a great job of running the wing tee and deciding to pick your poison. You can't get caught peeking in the backfield. You have to stay fundamentally sound. And on that play, the corner from BC Reign got beat, and it's brother to brother for 6 points for the Rattlers.
Mike Luttrell on for the extra point. And the Rattlers on the board here. Luttrell's kick is up, and it is good. 20-7. We'll take a break and come back. The Rattlers on the board, but there's a flag on the play. We'll check that on the other side of this break.
If you're looking for fun, fashionable, and affordable jewelry, it's here. It's Paparazzi. We have a variety of colors and styles of bracelets, rings, necklaces, and earrings for all occasions and for every event. New styles are added daily, which means you are always up to date with the latest fashion. For that genuine bling, join me, Charmaine Watson, the real jewelry lady, on Facebook Live Sunday through Thursday at 7 p.m. It's cute, it's fun, it's fashion, it's $5, it's Paparazzi.
Leflore capitalizes off of the interception. So, Corey, as we say, points off turnovers for the Rattlers, and it couldn't come at a better time as they needed to get some points on the board to avoid the shutout tonight.
Well, what you've seen is BC Reign scores 6 points off a Leflore turnover, and Leflore be able to score 6 points. Now, it may not have been in the play in regards to a scoop and score, but it ultimately led to 6 for your offense. Your defense delivers, and then your offense goes ahead and checks the mail as you take a look at the turnover chain for the Rattlers.
Yeah, it's a bit delayed as Wright had to play offense and defense, but he set that one up with the interception, Corey, and that penalty flag on the extra point was against BC Reign, so Leflore is going to be kicking from the Reign 45-yard line.
The worst thing that can happen for Leflore is you allow a big return here, and you want to try to kick this football into the back of the end zone and get some type of touchback, as I think the Red Raiders are going to burn one in regards to getting the correct personnel, and making sure that no onside kick is coming as well.
That scoring drive, Antonio Leflore, 35-yard pass to his brother DeJuan Leflore, 3 plays, 39 yards overall, took a minute 20 off the clock. And Corey, that's what Leflore needed, because I had just talked about when that drive stopped at the 9, they had started in their own 28-yard line and came up empty-handed.
You cannot come out empty-handed in regards to getting into the red zone area. And that's what happened the drive prior to. Now, when you start talking about the outstanding pass, brother to brother, and that's what's going on for the Leflore Rattlers. As, again, you see younger brother throw to older brother. He tiptoes along the sideline and gets his jersey number for LHS.
Speaking of Leflore, our statistician Matt Moore tells me they have run 29 plays compared to BC Rain's 16 plays tonight, Corey.
Well, you've been on the field.
And they've been on the field longer. Yep, time of possession too as well.
What you have to ultimately know is the difference in this game is that strip, scoop, and score. Correct. Which is a 2-possession game instead of a 1-possession game. And
think back to the Ricky Nichols tackle of LeSure near that 15-yard line. It was 4th down. That was almost like a turnover with turnovers on down. And that was the first score of the night for BC Rain. That's a live ball.
Say what, fair catch?
I don't know if I saw a fair catch signal or not. I heard all the Leflore coaches saying, get on it, get on it, get on it. And they are arguing about that right now with the officials. But they're going to say it's BC Rain's ball. They're going to spot it at the 12.
He called fair catch.
So he did call a fair catch.
That's the ruling.
The official breaking. So if he, because I didn't see it myself. I was looking at the ball, actually, Corey. So, but it's fair catch signal by BC Rain. It will be their ball at the 12 on the far side of Ladd Stadium. All the parents lining up. Homecoming night here for the Rattlers. They're ready to start halftime festivities on the far side. All the dads in their suit and ties and vests tonight, Corey.
Well, I love homecoming, and I'm a Leflore graduate along with yourself, so I'll enjoy the halftime festivities for sure.
Interesting move right here. Yelding takes a knee. Leflore is out of timeouts. They can't stop it, but the game clock hadn't even started running. Now they've started it. So it looks as if Coach Yelding is just going to take the knee and take it to the house, as they will get the ball back to start the third quarter.
And that's what our official is asking for, to make sure that the clock continues to run in that situation.
Coming up at halftime, the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge, as Kimberly Dunn's going to try to get another winner for us tonight. Also, homecoming festivities. We'll check in at the MCPSS Athletic Studio with our buddy Mike Herndon, and also take a look at some ball games taking place in 5A and 6A tomorrow night. A lot of contests going on, Corey. This is kind of the time of the year, especially in 5A and 6A, where you have 9-team regions. It pretty much will come down to the last week to determine who's in and out of the playoffs.
That's what I love about it. You start talking about the early region games and the ones that got away from you. There's nothing you can do about those, but at the same time, you learn the importance of taking it week by week in any region, in any classification in the entire state of Alabama.
All right, let's take it down to the sidelines. Kimberly Dunn is with Leflore coach Renato Jackson.
Coach Jackson, your team was able to score. Do you feel that that is going to help continue to motivate your team for the rest of the game in the second half?
Yeah, I think, we were glad to close the half with a touchdown off of a turnover.
Yeah.
We just got to limit our mistakes and penalties. We're kind of shooting ourselves in the foot right now.
So what adjustments are you going to make in order to secure the win in the end?
We got to be able to stop the run, and we got to figure out why we can't run. I think if we can do those two things, we got a chance.
All right. Thank you so much, Coach. I'll let you get with your team.
All right. Thank you.
And that explains the core. He's right about that. Got to stop shooting yourself in the foot.
Well, again, you get down in that red zone area, you have to find a way to capitalize, and Leflore has found success throwing the football out of the wing tee, and that's going to be an answer for BC Rain to come up with in the second half.
All right, halftime is headed your way. Keep it right here. You're watching a special Thursday night edition of the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
There's a lot to like about Mobile County Public Schools.
What I enjoy about Mobile County School is the extra attention my teachers give us to help us learn.
Teachers are liking their access to technology, and students are liking the quality of their education.
I like the technology that's been incorporated into my education.
And since 1826, you have trusted us to prepare your child for their future, and we like that. Mobile County Public Schools. We are learning today, leading tomorrow.
High school students, are you looking for a way to become a better leader? Then the Junior Officers Training Corps may be what you're seeking. If you would like to develop self-reliance, learn ways to be more responsible, and improve your communication skills, you can do that and more when you register for the Junior Officers Training Corps. The JROTC program is available to all high school students in Mobile County. JROTC, we build a better you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ayla, hi.
Oh, hi, Sierra. How are you?
Good. How are things?
Things couldn't be better.
What do you mean?
Well, I just started this new job as a school teacher with the Mobile County Public Schools, and it has been a life changer. Great benefits, the hours are great, and great students. Just overall, it's a great opportunity. Oh, wow. That sounds great. Yeah. I'm going to look into that. You should.
For more information, visit mcpss.com/job opportunities.
It's a special Thursday night edition of the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Beautiful shot of downtown Mobile. Right now, we got to check in with Mike Herndon at the MCPSS Athletic Studio for his checkup. What's going on, Mike?
Thanks, guys. I'm here with another Mobile County Public Schools sports update. Davidson cross-country standout Philip Parker posted another strong showing at the Faith Academy Boardwalk Challenge. He was 8th out of 112 runners with a time of 16:48.42. Alma Bryant's Jacob Auld finished 22nd, and Davidson's Macy Drews was 22nd on the girls' side. The Davidson boys finished 5th in the 18-team field, while the girls were 6th out of 12 teams. In high school volleyball this week, Baker defeated Davidson, Mary G. Montgomery dropped a pair of matches to Faith Academy and McGill-Tulane, and Theodore fell to Satsuma. Volleyball teams around the state begin postseason play this week. And in middle school football last week, Williamson defeated Alba 14-0, Sims topped Hankins 13-8, Lott got past Phillips 20-14, Scarborough defeated Pillins 19-6, Callaway Smith blanked North Mobile 24-0, Washington beat Mobile County Training School 22-6. Denton defeated Burns 6-0. Clark-Shaw edged past Chastain Fournier 22-20. And Causey topped Grand Bay 28-12. Postseason play began today with Washington hosting Scarborough and Burns hosting Williamson in the semifinals. The championship game will be held next week. That's your MCPSS sports update for this week. Back to you, Alan Corey.
Thank you, Mike. We do appreciate that. As we saw that graphic earlier, Scarborough once again in the championship game. Corey, they went undefeated last year and won the middle school championship, as a matter of fact.
Trying to go back-to-back is hard to do, but you start talking about the successes of our middle school, you look at some of the incoming freshmen next year making immediate impact on a lot of these MCPSS schools.
Speaking of impact, let's take a look at some ball games going to take place tomorrow in 5A and 6A. Some big contests coming up, as we talked about it before we went to the break. You know, we're down into region play right now, and every ball game is huge. Corey, you talked about it. You know, the ones that got away from you earlier, you can't go back and get them. But tomorrow night, that's a big one right there with Faith Academy and Williamson.
And that game, Faith Academy-Williamson, will definitely determine whether the Williamson Lions are able to make the playoffs, whether Faith Academy and UMS set up a fantastic matchup to finish the contest. But, you know, you cannot take a week off in regards to, unless you do have a bye week.
Like Gulf Shores,
and go undefeated against the week bye. You are going to have to not take Alberta lightly.
Correct.
You can't take Central Nell lightly. Faith Academy at Williamson, that's going to be a spectacular contest.
And for Williamson, their work isn't done. The last ball game of the season, they have to play at UMS Wright. So for the Lions, it's pretty much tough sledding. They know they need to get, you know, definitely 1 out of 2, but really getting 2 would really help them out, because these are region standing totals right there, win-loss totals.
And if you're the Viger Wolves, you're here supporting the Leflore Rattlers tonight.
Right. Yeah,
you're hoping
definitely
for them to have a great second half.
Let's take it up to 6A Region 1. That's another 9-team region. As you look at the number 1 team in the state, Saraland, they're off, and we can go ahead and say it. They're playing at Theodore next week. That's pretty much setting up for a doomsday scenario right there. But, you know, Theodore can't overlook McGill-Tulane, they've kind of surprised a lot of us coming out of nowhere and kind of regaining themselves as the season has developed.
The Yellow Jackets have come on late, and again, they played that buzzsaw schedule early in the season, and now they're starting to find their rhythm. They're finding a lot of balance, and the defense is playing much better, and the Yellow Jackets are always in contention no matter what classification they're in.
We saw Murphy pick up their first win against Robertsdale a couple weeks ago, and Baldwin County trying to pick up their first win as they will be playing here at Ladd Stadium tomorrow night. And Blount and St. Paul's going at it, and Spanish Fort and Robertsdale, as Robertsdale trying to get their first win if they can. But 6A Region 1 just as tight as 5A Region 1, Corey.
Well, this year there's no question that these two regions, 5A and 6A, are some of the most competitive in the entire state of Alabama from a Region 1 standpoint. And again, I mentioned whether you look at 5A Region 1 or 6A Region 1, we always mention 6A Region 1 being the SEC West. Comparing it just like you have this year with Alabama and Mississippi State and Ole Miss continuing to battle one another. These 2 and 3 teams beat up on each other to where Region 1's 4 seed can go to any other region and in the playoffs and be the 1 or 2 seed.
Absolutely could. So there's a look at 5A and Region 1 schedules taking place tomorrow. We're going to take a break and come back and bring you the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge right here for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
I have known since I was in 4th grade that I was going to be a teacher. I really just truly enjoy coming to work every day and working with different sets of kids and just watching them grow and learn.
I couldn't see myself doing anything other than teaching children, being a part of children's lives, being able to inspire them in a way that some people just aren't able to do. And to know that every day is a new day, a new opportunity to make a difference in the child's life means everything to me.
When we say Bishop State Community College is a great place to start, we really mean it. Want to major in psychology, engineering, criminal justice, English, history, or something else? Take your general education courses with us, then transfer your credits to the four-year university of your choice. Want to learn a trade and go straight into the workforce? We have the programs and the training to help you land a high-wage and high-demand career. Save time and thousands while conveniently taking classes safely online or on campus. Register now, bishop.edu.
Hello, I'm Katrina Frazier.
And I'm Deborah Robinson, and we would like to be your next realtors. As homeowners, we know how confusing it can be searching to find that perfect home that fits your needs and budget.
For that reason, it's important to have a reliable partner to represent you and to be there for every step of your home buying process. You'll find the services offered through Berkshire Hathaway, Home Services Cooper & Company Realtors are second to none.
So whether you are buying or selling your home, call us today and let our experience work for you.
Homecoming festivities taking place here at legendary Ladd Peebles Stadium. We'll get a shot of the homecoming queen later on as she is crowned. Right now, we need to crown a champ for the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge tonight. Let's check in with Kimberly Dunn down on the sidelines.
All right, we are here with our Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge, and I have some very handsome boys with me. Y'all wave and say hey to everybody. These are our football boys that are over here on the sidelines helping our Leflore Rattlers. They've been getting the footballs and bringing them back and forth, so they've been working hard tonight. Are y'all ready to answer our question and try to win the prize pack? Y'all ready? Okay, here we go. Oh, and I want to ask you, what are your names and how old are you and what school do you go to? I'm going to start down here.
My name is KJ. I play for, I go to St. Mary's, and I'm in 4th grade.
My name is Mason, and I go to Holloway.
My name is Carson. I go to Gilliard.
My name is Tyler, and I go to Holloway.
My name is Jerry McClendon. I'm in 4th grade, and I go to Forest Hill.
My name is Trey, and I'm 9, and I'm in the 4th grade, and I go to Holloway.
Awesome. All right. Are y'all ready for our question? Yeah. Okay, here we go. It says, which was the first country to use paper money? Okay, was it Mexico, China, Turkey, or Canada? What y'all think?
Canada.
Oh, that's close, but it's not Canada. All right, I'm going to say them again. Hold on, listen. Mexico, China, Turkey, or Canada?
China.
What y'all think? Y'all gonna go with your man?
China.
Turkey? All right, raise your hand if you think it's Turkey. Raise your hand if you think it's China. All right, well, the ones that are correct, it is China.
Let's go.
All right, well, look, y'all did great. Y'all are a team, so y'all win together, okay? So here's our Chick-fil-A prize pack. You got some Chick-fil-A goodies. They're excited. All right, listen, y'all wave goodbye. Hey.
Great job, Kimberly, right there, getting everyone hooked up with the Chick-fil-A. We'll take a break and come back and give you some stats and also revisit Corey's checklist for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
If you're looking for fun, fashionable, and affordable jewelry, it's here. It's Paparazzi. We have a variety of colors and styles of bracelets, rings, necklaces, and earrings for all occasions and for every event. New styles are added daily, which means you are always up to date with the latest fashion. For that genuine bling, join me, Charmaine Watson, the real jewelry lady, on Facebook Live Sunday through Thursday at 7 p.m. It's cute, it's fun, it's fashion, it's $5, it's Paparazzi.
Homecoming festivities still taking place here at legendary Ladd People Stadium. It's Al Weed and Corley Bounty on the sideline. It's Kimberly Dunn. Corey, time to take a look at first half statistics. Quite an interesting ball game that we had. At one point, BC Rain was up 20 to nothing in Leflore. Got a turnover and got some points on the board.
Well, that's how you have to do it. I mean, you're able to capitalize. Again, I mentioned it's not the same scoring format that BC Rain was able to score points off of turnovers. The offense answered the bell in regards to controlling the clock and being able to find a way in this wing T offense to score offensively, throwing the football. When you start looking at the rushing yardage, Leflore with a 2-yard advantage, taking that wing T offense. The total yardage, 110 for Leflore, 74 for BC Rain. One turnover apiece.
Right.
The difference is when you start talking about penalties.
Yep, right there.
6 for 45 for Leflore, and our score 20 to 7. And red zone opportunities are also critical for Leflore here in the second half. If they get in that red zone now, they must capitalize.
Yeah, at one point, our statistician Matt Moore told me Leflore had run 29 plays to BC Rain 16 plays. So pretty much they were handling time of possession. They just couldn't capitalize. And that one long drive, they got nothing out of it, Corey.
When you get down, again, inside of that 20, and you find a way to extend it, especially fourth down and short yardage situation.
Correct.
You must find a way to move the chains because Leflore could find a way to get a first down inside of the goal line. And because of it, BC Rain, credit to Sean Burney and this defense for bowing up and stopping Leflore from getting into the red zone. But again, one penalty, one turnover apiece by both of these teams have led to 6 points, but on the scoreboard, BC Rain leads 20 to 7.
Let's revisit your checklist for BC Rain because they are the visiting team, and there were some things you pointed out in your checklist that they needed to do to secure that win tonight.
Absolutely. BC Rain needed to establish early momentum. They did that, jumping up 14 to 0 and then making it 20 to 0. And the reigning special teams, the missed extra point could come back to haunt the Red Raiders in the second half, and they needed to win the turnover battle. At first, they were winning the turnover battle, and the late turnover by the quarterback on the interception evened out that turnover battle. For Leflore, they had to be slithering snakes. And what did I mean by that? Their quarterback had to be able to find a way to go ahead and lead this wing T offense, and the running back, Singleton, also had to go ahead and get positive yardage. He's been able to do that. Limit penalties, Leflore, too many penalties so far in the first half, and they have to tackle at the point of attack. Yards after contact are going to be huge here in the second half for the Red Raiders offense.
It sure is. Second half going to be headed your way shortly. Homecoming activities still taking place. We're going to take a break, and hopefully we'll come back and get a shot of the homecoming queen tonight here for Leflore. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
Parents, if you have a child who will be 4 years of age on or before September 1st, 2023, then mark your calendar to register for the Mobile County Public Schools First Class Pre-K program. Online registration for the 2023-24 school year opens January 15th, so don't miss this opportunity. Log on to MCPSS.com for more information and a complete listing of pre-K sites, screening, and selection info. First Class Pre-K registration, January 15th. Save the date.
You've got questions? We got answers. MCPSS.com. Whether it's attendance zones, school calendar, lunch menus, or registration information that you are looking for, you can find it right here. MCPSS.com. You can also get the latest news and district-wide calendar information, and it's just a click away. So when you need to know, and you need to know right now, check us out. MCPSS.com.
As a student in the Mobile County Public Schools, there are a few things I've come to expect. One is a quality education, and the other is a quality lunch. Not only are our school meals well balanced, meeting all federal nutritional standards, but they also have less fat, fewer calories, and they taste really good. Oh, and I forgot to mention, our school lunches contain whole wheat, grains, fruits, and vegetables to give me the energy and brain power to get me through the day.
Homecoming activity still taking place. They are close to announcing the homecoming queen. Before they do that, we're going to take a look at some first half highlights from this ball game tonight, kind of recap our scoring as it took place here between BC Rain and Leflore. Here's that first run right there by Bryce Dowling as he barrels in, Corey. That put BC Rain on the board early.
4-yard touchdown run in great field position, and the Rattlers said, okay, we're going to try to run the football, bounce it to the outside, and the Red Raiders, you see 3 defenders take the Rattlers down, but not before Singleton gets positive yardage.
Amari Yelding right here connecting with his receiver, and that was a 15-yard touchdown pass to Tristan Page, opened it up 14-0. And here comes that rip, the scoop, what's they call it? The can opener, Corey, as Bryce Dowling took it on to the house, 65 yards for BC Rain.
Outstanding job, Bryce, looking around to make sure no one's chasing him, and he runs through the tape and is able to score 6 points for the Red Raiders off of that turnover.
D'Antonio Leshurr going across the middle right here as he connected with Tamatra Wright on that completion.
Here's Yeldon again at quarterback. He drops back, spins the football, tries to step up into the pocket, and we saw Wright just moments ago make a big play on offense. He makes a big play on defense, high points to football, and it leads to a touchdown for Leflore.
From Leshurr to Leshurr, and that puts Leflore on the board, and we're going to take it down to the field. I believe we have a shot of the homecoming queen right there as she has been announced along with her court as well, as the clock has hit 0 and the band and all the parents are coming off the field. And we'll take a quick break and come back and bring you the second half of this special Thursday night edition of the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
At Mobile County Public Schools, we believe it starts with us. That's why we offer Signature Academies.
Hello, I'm Jordan Clark, and I'm in the Health Service Academy at John L. Leflore Magnet High School. My future career is to be an obstetrician-gynecologist. With this academy, I'm learning firsthand from people already working in the industry. Shadowing them on the job really makes me want to study hard and work harder towards my career goal.
Signature Academies are open to all students in Mobile County Public High Schools. Visit MCPSS.com.
At any given time, trauma can happen.
And how we deal with it.
And how we make peace with it.
Starts with me.
With Project Thrive, I'm taking a pledge.
I pledge to believe and support others experiencing trauma.
Will you join Project Thrive and its team of partners who are working together to address issues of trauma? Take the pledge. Take a stand and let's make Mobile a trauma-informed community.
I have known since I was in 4th grade that I was going to be a teacher. I really just truly enjoy coming to work every day and working with different sets of kids and just watching them grow and learn.
I couldn't see myself doing anything other than teaching children, being a part of children's lives, being able to inspire them in a way that some people just aren't able to do. And to know that every day is a new day, a new opportunity to make a difference in the child's life means everything to me.
If you're looking for fun, fashionable, and affordable jewelry, it's here. It's Paparazzi. We have a variety of colors and styles of bracelets, rings, necklaces, and earrings for all occasions and for every event. New styles are added daily, which means you are always up to date with the latest fashion. For that genuine bling, join me, Charmaine Watson, the real jewelry lady, on Facebook Live Sunday through Thursday at 7 p.m. It's cute, it's fun, it's fashion, it's $5, it's Paparazzi.
Time festivities have wrapped up. Let's take it down to the sideline and check in with Kimberly Dunn and Coach Lawrence Yelding.
Coach Yelding, what was the atmosphere like in the locker room during halftime?
Man, we just had to get our guys back in focus. You know, there towards the end of the half, they kind of made a little push on us. You know, did some things to get themselves back into play. Up until that point, I thought we were in control of it. But again, we let them back in it. So now we just got to come back and reestablish ourselves. You know, kind of try to impose our will on them a little bit, and trying to finish the game out. One of the things I said we had to do.
Yeah. So what adjustments are you going to make in order to secure that win tonight?
One of the things that we're going to have to do is look at, they start having a little success throwing the football. So we're going to try to help our corners out a little bit, going a little bit more too high stuff, kind of mix some coverages up, show one thing and do some different things, try to confuse the quarterback a little bit.
Yes. All right, Coach, well, I'll let you get with your team. Best of luck to you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Kimberly. We do appreciate that. Coach Yelding talked on some very good points right there, getting things ready for the second half. Also, make sure you get ready and mark your calendar. Friday, November 11th is Veterans Day. It's a Friday this year, Corey. Wow. So all schools and offices will be closed. It will definitely be a long weekend coming up for that one.
And as they prepare for the Thanksgiving holidays, that one gets you kind of ramped up to prepare for the holidays.
It sure does. I know a big game taking place that weekend. I believe the 12th right here at Ladd Stadium will be the Gulf Coast Challenge, Jackson State and Alabama A&M. So they picked a good weekend, a long weekend for that, as a matter of fact.
And when you start looking at the opportunities for these young men to be recruited to SWAC schools, it's important that, again, they put out a great resume here on MCPSS television.
Right.
They use these highlights for their huddle films. They use these highlights to send off to these colleges and universities. And we want to salute people like Lawrence Yelding's son, Amari Yelding, who carries a 4.2 grade point average and is in the National Honor Society for the Red Raiders. And that's what it's all about, being a fantastic student athlete. And we just saw an outstanding homecoming court here for Leflore High School, and in order to participate in that, your grades have to be on point. So congratulations to all the participants and Leflore High School for celebrating their homecoming, and congratulations to Amari Yelding as well.
And speaking of the Yelding, got to congratulate our buddy Cedric Yelding, now the coach over at Coastal Alabama for the ladies, who happens to be cousin of Lawrence Yelding. And I found out, Corey, guess who else is related to Lawrence Yelding?
Who else is in the
Our
family?
engineer, Fran Conway. I found that out today. I couldn't believe it. I said, man, well, come on, man. You know, Fred, you know, I got good stock in my family, man. So there's a shot right there, Coach Yelding and his crew. They're up 20-7 right now over Leflore. And, Corey, BC Rain receiving this second half kickoff.
And that's going to be huge for the Red Raiders to go ahead and find a way to capitalize right here and put more points. We'll see if what they talked about, their offensive coordinator, Famous Davis, is going to put this in gear. Their first drive, outstanding field position, aided by the penalty.
Right.
Unsportsmanlike or personal foul. We'll see if they're able to drive the length of the field here also.
Marion Davis is going to field this near the 6. If he can get his hands on it, he finally does. And the Rattlers capitalize and bring him down near the 10 or the 11. That could have been a bad look for Davis if he hadn't scooped that pigskin up.
David Hawkins, the 175-pound defensive back, with the stop. But a late flag comes in, and we'll see what that's all about. Again, that free yardage for the Red Raiders if it's against Leflore.
And that one was way late, Corey. I mean, the players had literally broken up out of the tackle huddle. Let's see what Mike Beckton has to say.
During the return, blocking the back on the return team. Half distance go, first down.
So that will penalize the Red Raiders, going to push them back as they start this drive on the 7-yard line. Yelding back along with Bryce Dowdland. Double stack receivers for the Red Raiders. They fake it to Dowdland, and Yelding has plenty of room as he crosses the 15 to 20. Forced out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Nice play call right there by Thamus Davis.
Great stiff arm and a great decision by Yelding to go ahead and pull that football and take what the defense was able to give him. The 6', 197-pound junior quarterback is able to get out of the shadows of their own end zone and pick up positive yardage on first down.
1st and 10. They're going to mark it at the 25, I believe.
Back judge getting himself together there. That's why we had that short delay.
There we go. 1st and 10 coming up here. Ball sitting on the 25 of BC Rain. Same formation, double stack receivers. They give it to Dowdland this time. He gets some block from those receivers as he just kind of takes his time and shuffles out of bounds near the 33, the 36 or 37. Nice pickup, nice run by Bryce Dowdland.
Another flag on the play, and you come in late, and normally that's in the area of blocking the back. So
they're calling, looks like holding against BC Rain, so that's going to wipe out that run.
Right here on the near sideline for Leflore. It comes in
during
late.
the run, holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty, replay, first down.
So that'll push the Red Raiders back, wipes out that run that Dowdland had. They're going to spot him at the 27 now. So first down here for BC Rain coming up. They calling that a spot foul, so it looks as if it's going to be first down and about maybe 9 yards coming up here for BC Rain.
You flip the page again in October, and you just saw the shot of the cheerleaders wearing the pink.
Right.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the entire month of October.
So it's on the 27. Call it 1st and 9 coming up here for BC Rain, sticking to the same formation, double stack receivers. And they go back to the well once again. And who do they give it to? The human bowling ball, Bryce Dowdland.
That's a safe bet if you're offensive coordinator Famous Davis, because what happens is Bryce Dowdland starts getting stronger. And the longer you allow this Leflore defense to stay on the field, the better off it is for Bryce and his running yardage.
Coach Yeldon told me that Bryce Dowdland is a special kid. He's got Saturday potential. He's a smart runner, has great speed to hit the holes, and he will run over you as we have seen him do it a few times tonight. And Corey has a touchdown, but it's from the defensive standpoint off the scoop and score, not an offensive touchdown yet.
4-yard early.
I'm sorry, yeah, did have the 4-yard early. That pass to Tristan Page, incomplete. Going to take BC Rain to 3rd down.
Well, if you're Leflore, this has got to be your money down, because you allowed Yelding to come out of that end zone with that quarterback scramble and gain close to 20 yards. And here it is, 3rd down and 4 yards to go. If you're Leflore, you need to go ahead and wrap up and make sure you strike viciously on your tackles. No yards after contact can be afforded.
3rd down and 4. Ball's at the 33 of BC Rain. And who do they go back to? Bryce Dowland. Dowland's going to be short by about a yard.
And
as he and Cornell Gavin are kind of jaw-jacking at each other.
Gavin, our impact player to watch out, and you can see him playing both sides of the football, but what a difference in height stature there.
To match Wright going back to set up at his own 43-yard line, awaiting the punt from Tristan Page. It is 4th and 1. Ball's on the 34. Pay attention, Corey. Let's see if Coach Yeldon is going to roll the dice. No trickeration here. Page does punt it. And Wright's going to take the fair catch at the 40-yard line. So Leflore will possess the ball for the second time here in the second half. And I see a penalty marker at the 44-yard line of BC Rain.
Well, we'll see if it is a dead ball foul or a live ball. I wasn't sure when that penalty flag was thrown, as I was looking to see to make sure he made a clean catch, but we'll get a call from the white hat here.
Mike Becton and his crew putting in work tonight. Personal foul against Leflore, and they are moving the chains. So they're going to take it from the 40.
That's the play, personal foul on the return team. 15-yard penalty, first down.
So once again, the Rattlers, with a costly mental mistake, takes away 15 yards. They had great field position at the 40, now pushed back to their own 25-yard line.
Leflore here, 9:58, really needs a great drive. And it doesn't matter whether it's a quick strike like they've had via the air, brother-to-brother combination early for the touchdown. And we'll see here if they're going to run the wing tee and try to drain some time off of this clock.
Singleton goes into motion and out of that tee. Picks it up, and he is tackled by Khalil Pirine for a loss way behind the line of scrimmage, Corey.
I tell you what, if you're going to run the wing tee and defensively you know that you can go ahead and attack the open windows and the gaps, you will have a phenomenal tackle total, and Khalil Pirine probably has made his 7th or 8th tackle of the contest for the Red Raiders.
Leflore is a young team. They're dressing out around 30 players tonight. They only have 6 seniors on this squad, returning just 4 on offense and 2 on defense, as it is 2nd down and 10. So they're going to credit Singleton with forward progress right to the line of scrimmage, so no loss on the play. 2nd and 10 for the Rattlers from the 25. LeSure back to pass. Looked as if the ball was tipped, and the Leflore receiver fighting for it, and coming down with it is Jeremiah Davis.
At the last moment.
But incomplete. Could not complete the catch all the way through.
At the last moment,
this ball was
5'11", 170-pound junior could not come away with it. And because of his high release point, it was a clean throw.
Okay.
Because he was able to continue the tight spiral. And when he came down, it was between his legs, and the officials called it incomplete.
He tried to get away with it, Corey.
And that's a tough call to make, and the official right on top of it.
Yeah.
And I love it for trying to sell that
I was just
catch.
thinking, he tried to sell it, but he couldn't sell that one. The old biscuit that fell out the basket there. 3rd and 10 coming up here for Leflore. Once again, you can see the strength of LeSure's arm. And, Corey, I thought the ball was actually tipped, but it's just he released it so high.
He has like a baseball pitcher's throw when he releases the football, but he has plenty of arm strength behind it.
LeSure back to pass again, has time, has plenty of room over here if he wants to run it. And does not incomplete that pass to Leon Rocker. I'm sorry, not Leon Rocker, Tabari Diamond. That takes Leflore to 4th down.
Diamond, the 6'3", 180-pound junior, was trying to come away with that reception, and you kind of lead him a little bit too far, trying to throw across your body, and just was not a clean connection. He was open, and it's a throw he would like to have back, and you go from being quarterback to, we'll see if he's able to punt it as well.
Great camera work from our audio guy, Eric Lowe, from the end zone cam there, doing a great job. 4th and 10 for the Rattlers as they take their time, go to this punt formation, 2 seconds, 1. They get it off just in time. Leflore's punt goes up and down. Corey, that might be like 7-yard, maybe 5-yard net gain. It goes out of bounds with a 40, 42. Let's see where they spotted it. Oh, my goodness.
Well, you flipped the field.
That looked like one of my Texas chili shots over there on the 3rd hole at Spring Hill, man. When I chili dip one, and then Matt and Phillip make fun of me.
It looked like
wow,
a putt-putt shot instead of a pow-pow shot in regards to the amount of yardage that football traveled.
The line of scrimmage was the 25, and the line of scrimmage now is the 36 for BC Rain. So that's an 11-yard punt. 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders, up 20-7. Dowling hauls it in. I didn't know if they were trying to set up a double pass, but you had a Rattler who kind of broke that up. I believe came in right up on Dowling, and he had to just eat it, Corey.
Dowling, you see his upper body strength. He was going to turn it up regardless. And you start talking about, look how compact he is. You try to tackle him high, you have to throw him down from the shoulder pads. But when you start looking now at 2nd down and 10 yards to go for the Red Raiders, the Rattlers want to keep it at a long down and distance situation.
No gain on the play. Dowling in the slot. Marion Davis to the left of Yeldon. They give it to Davis. He's a nice slasher runner. He's going to pick up about 9 or 10 on that carry. And that's going to be a 1st down for the Red Raiders off that run from Marion Davis.
Jamarcus Coates, Keyshawn Blackman, Devontae Coates, Isaiah Hawthorne, and Jamar Petway do a wonderful job at the line of scrimmage, getting that push and opening up that hole for Davis.
Raiders playing tempo, but that one goes nowhere as B.J. Pleasant and the Rattlers throw him for a loss.
Well, Pleasant, again, has been very busy from his inside linebacker position tonight as a tackler for T.J. McCord's defense, and it's a big stop for Leflore anytime they're able to keep BC Rain at 2nd or 3rd and long. They have an opportunity to pin their ears back and come after Yeldon and make him try to throw another interception.
1-yard loss on the run. Takes BC Rain to 2nd and 11. They fake it to Dowling. And Yeldon does the smart thing and throws it away. And Corey, it's going to be 3rd and long coming up here for the Red Raiders. They need to get to the 15-yard line to pick up a 1st down.
If you're Leflore, you just have to win the line of scrimmage right here.
Right.
And make Yeldon very uncomfortable in that pocket and make him find an open wide receiver. And he's had success finding number 10, Tristan Page, and number 3, KJ Simpson when they decide to throw the football.
Trip receivers to the top for BC Rain. Play clock under 5. Yeldon has time, rolls to his left. The heat is on, a flag comes out, and he throws that ball right to the down marker and actually knocks it down. But we do have a flag on the play. Let's get the call here from Mike Beckton.
Hey, coach.
Right in the area of holding for sure.
And holding against BC Rain, so Leflore declines it. It'll take the Red Raiders to 4th down. See if we can pick up the hole. It could have been Dowling right there.
Right in the middle, holding Neal. Gavin.
Holding nose guard as well. So 4th down and 11 for the Red Raiders. They're going for it. Not wanting to attempt the field goal outside the range of Joel Hernandez. Yeldon rolling to his left. Here's the heat coming from the Rattlers, and he has to throw it away, so the Rattlers defense steps up And that drive comes to an end at the 26-yard line for BC Rain.
Outstanding pressure for the Leflore Rattlers. Peter Mahan, 5'7", 180-pound player for Leflore, is able to make that pressure a little bit too much for Yeldon, and now Leflore having an opportunity to try to capitalize and has to do so early down and distance-wise.
Coach Jackson told me he feels they have to stop the run. They got to stop Dowling. But most importantly, they got to cut down on the penalties and play a clean game, something they haven't done tonight, Corey. And it has not allowed them to take advantage of a lot of opportunities. So let's see from here on out what the Rattlers will do. That is a busted play.
Fumble, scoop, and
score.
That's
a fumble scooped up and picked up by Ricky Nichols near the 27-yard line. And Nichols is going to score it. That is our second fumble touchdown tonight by BC Rain.
You look at the wing tee, and they try to run a quick trap, and there was no clean exchange for the Leflore Rattlers. Singleton was not able to handle that football, and it just bounced right into the waiting Ricky Nichols' hands. And you look at that, a quick trap, and he wasn't able to handle it, wasn't able to get on top of it. Ricky Nichols is just waiting for it.
That's smart, Corey.
And he scoops it up, and he's going to go ahead and score this one.
Joel Hernandez on for the extra point. He is 1 for 2 tonight on his extra points. High snap, and he gets it up. And it is good as BC Rain has extended their lead 27-7 over Leflore. While we got a break, take a look at the Alabama Sports Writers Association top 10 polls across the state. We'll start off here with the 5A poll. UMS Wright still has a tight grip on the #1 spot as the unanimous pick once again. Gulf Shores still sits solid at 6, and Faith Academy slides up 1 spot to #9. Let's take it up to the 6A poll. Saraland is the #1 team once again, and the Theodore Bobcats are still #3. These two will meet next Friday night. Theodore is going to host it. It'll be a battle for the #1 seed in 6A Region 1. And lastly, in the 7A poll, Auburn is holding on to this top spot another week. Fairhope sits at 5 after their victory over Daphne last week. Outside the top 10, the Foley Lions once again picking up 1 vote. And there's a look at your Alabama Sports Writers Association top 10 polls.
Well, Al, you've seen something you don't see a lot of, which is 2 scoop and scores.
You're right, very rarely.
A defense. You normally maybe see 1, but not 2. And you always see points off turnovers, maybe on a pick 6 or a scoop and score.
Correct.
But tough to see 2 scoop and scores if you're the Leflore Rattlers. Now, if you're defensive coordinator for the Red Raiders, Sean Burney, you're absolutely loving the fact that your defense is creating points off of turnovers.
And that one was, it was literally clean as the ball was laying on the carpet right there, just kind of scooted. Like Singleton couldn't grab it back, Corey, and it just kind of kept scooting away. The turf isn't that wet, and Nichols just picked it right on up and walked in. To Matra Wright on the return as he gets it up to about the 45. And Corey, something we've seen a lot tonight, yellow flags all over the field.
That's an easy call to make in regards to being a late hit or personal foul. It'll put Leflore in great field position. They'll cross midfield after this penalty. And we mentioned that their inability to score the first time they were in the red zone. When you look at this return, coming right at the Leflore sidelines, you'll see that late hit by the Red Raiders.
And Wright is out right there. Really that extra tug right there.
It really was. Jordan Vines is the one who's going to be penalized, and they're going to talk about it in 15 free yards. Oh my goodness, I didn't see a block in the back.
Corey LeBounty.
Block in the back, on the return. 10-yard penalty.
against Leflore pushes the Rattlers back 10 yards. I'm looking at the screen. I'm in disbelief myself. And there's the personal foul. There it is.
15-yard penalty, going to be first down.
I was waiting to definitely see that personal foul call for sure.
There's a scoring drive. Ricky Nichols, 27-yard touchdown fumble recovery. Took 9 seconds. One play, 27 yards. I guess Mike Becton and his crew, they do it the old-fashioned way, Corey. They walk it off one way, then they walk it off the other way. Kind of like earlier when John Vila was like, where they going to call this holding? They called it a spot foul, and it was 1st and 9. I thought it was going to be right at the spot of the hold. But, hey, however you want to do it, Corey.
Well, the biggest thing is by walking the yardage off, you guarantee that one may be a 10-yard, one may be a 15. You're making sure that you assess the correct yardage for sure.
So it's 1st and 10, ball on the 47-yard line of BC Rain near the halfway point of the third quarter. It's Al Whedon, Corley Bounty covering the sidelines. Kimberly Dunn, statistician Matt Moore on hand for this Thursday night edition of the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. LeSure comes out that tee looking to pass, has a lot of room, rolls to his right. And that's definitely going to be a late hit. We could see that one from here inside the press box at Ladd, as LeSure took a whopper from the Red Raiders defensive player.
And you'll be able to see this on the far sidelines of BC Rain as he is about 2 yards out of bounds. You'll see the hit come up here late by Ricky Nichols.
That was totally unnecessary. I know Coach Barney's not going to like that at all, defensive coordinator for the Red Raiders.
After the play, personal foul, late hit out of bounds on the defense. 15-yard penalty results in a first down.
Corey, we have had a lot of personal fouls tonight. Not one unsportsmanlike yet, but a ton of personal fouls.
Coach Yeldon not happy with that call at all. He feels that Ricky was pushed into the quarterback, which caused that hit. The officials saw it differently, and it'll be 1st and 10 Leflore.
That moves it up to the 36-yard line of BC Rain. Handed off to Singleton. He bounces it outside, picks up about 3 or 4. As he gives a hug to defensive coordinator Sean Burns.
But what you see is the great feet and the great balance that this young running back Singleton does have. And you have to make sure you lay the lumber to him to get him down. It won't be just a one-hit a quit for him when you're trying to tackle this young man.
2nd and 6 coming up here for the Rattlers. They mark it at the 32-yard line. And we have a stoppage in play. Looks as if Coach Renato Jackson is taking a timeout for Leflore, so he uses his first timeout at 5:25 remaining here in the third quarter. Corey, what's your thoughts on the wing tee so far for Leflore?
I think it's a great look in regards to getting something different for opposing coaches to look at on film. And you just have to have execution early in regards to getting positive yardage early.
Coming up, we'll put our Game of the Week brain buster question out there for Corley Bounty and see if he'll get it correct, so stick around for that. During this broadcast, Rain on top 27-7 right now. Had a chance to talk to Coach Jackson, and while I was over there, got a look at the stadium. Corey says the Tomanville area, they're excited about the new stadium going up. Construction still taking place over there near Figures Park, where they're going to have the stadium at as well. So this time next year, Leflore will probably be playing games in Tomanville.
And you have a homecoming crowd that's tremendous tonight, and you can imagine the type of homecoming crowd that you'll have with the on-campus stadium.
Absolutely.
For Leflore.
All right, back to the action after Leflore takes their first time out. 2nd and 6 from the 32. And B.J. Pleasant can't go anywhere.
right on time.
Man.
Ashton Wright, that is, for the Red Raiders, making another stop. And again, when you give that football to the up back, when the nose guard is not blocked, it's easy pickings for him. It's just one-on-one at the point of attack.
Correction, that was Roderick Dortch on the carry as he is met at the line of scrimmage by Ashton Wright. 3rd and 6, no gain on the play as the Leflore marching band continues to gain volume in front of us here at Ladd Stadium with their battle against the BC Rain Raiders band. That's LeSure, DeJuan LeSure, the brother of D'Antonio. He may have picked up 3 or 4, but he'll be short of the first down. 4th down coming up here for the Rattlers.
And the Red Raiders are going to have another Pirine. I think that's Khalil.
Sure is.
Pirine being injured on the play, and Antonio Williams makes the stop as he's not even able to make it all the way over to the sidelines.
As he collapses right there, they're going to have to give him some assistance as the young man trying to hop off, as the trainer is going to take a look at Pirine, as Coach Yeldon called him, the thumper.
Hopefully it's just a cramp.
Correct.
For this outside linebacker who has been tremendously active tonight.
We'll take an injury timeout and come back. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
About Mobile County Public Schools.
What I enjoy about Mobile County School is the extra attention my teachers give us to help us learn.
Teachers are liking their access to technology, and students are liking the quality of their education.
I like the technology that's been incorporated into my education.
And since 1826, you have trusted us to prepare your child for their future, and we like that. Mobile County Public Schools. We are learning today, leading tomorrow.
There's a shot of Pirine on the sidelines that they were able to escort him off of the field, possibly looking like a cramp, Corey.
That's exactly what it is for that young man, and he was able to pop up and hobble off. But right. Leflore now, when you start looking at it, it's 4th down now, and Sean Burney would love to get a stop for his defensive squad.
Bryce Dowling in on defense here for the Red Raiders to replace Khalil Pirine. LeSure looking to throw, got a guy, completes the pass. That's to his brother, DeJuan LeSure. And we have a flag. I wonder if that may be a face mask committed or a horse collar.
Yes, sir.
We're going to see what it's going to be as LeSure was kind of weaving his way near the sideline. It was almost as if the Red Raiders couldn't tackle him or weren't trying to, but we were just kind of watch scoring.
Going to grab him right by that left shoulder pad area underneath.
There it is, yep.
Easy call for the officials to make.
So tack some more on there for LeFlore.
During the run, horse collar on the defense. Half the distance to go, 1st down.
All right, this is LeFlore's 2nd entrance into the red zone tonight.
We definitely have a hot clock, meaning it will go ahead and run here.
Ball's on the 3-yard line, 1st and goal for the Rattlers. LeSure with the handoff to Roderick Dortch. And the Red Raiders defensive line stiffens up. Maybe a gain of 1. Let's see if they give him credit for 1. So he's between the 2 and the 3 course, about a half-yard gain for Dortch.
Ball security is the biggest thing for LeFlore here, knocking at the 2-yard line.
Second and goal coming up for the Rattlers, down 27-7. Homecoming night and senior night for LeFlore. LeSure just going to keep it, getting a little push from Dortch in his back. And let's see if the extra push will work. No signal, and there's a signal right there, so we'll give it a 2-yard run for D'Antonio Leshure.
Right back in the game are the Leflore Rattlers. No quit in a Renardo Jackson type squad. And the offense goes ahead and capitalizes off of a huge play. And now here it is, the point after. Will they decide to go ahead and go for 2, or will they go ahead and kick the point after?
And they're trying to surprise him and go for 2 and leaning it over across. Was that B.J. Pleasant, Corey?
It was.
B.J. Pleasant with the 2-point conversion as Leflore gets closer. And you can see the ball just stretch right up in there.
That's all it takes is for the ball to cross the plane. And the Rattlers are able to have a little momentum here as we get to the end of the third quarter.
3 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. All right, let's put up our Game of the Week Brain Buster question while we've got a little break. All right, Corey, this former Rattler went undrafted in 1994, but played 5 seasons in the NFL for Chicago, the New York Jets, and Philadelphia. Who was it? Lawyer Tillman, Anthony Marshall, B.N. Harbin, or Danny Woodson Jr.? Your Game of the Week Brain Buster. We'll reveal that answer later on inside of the broadcast. Leflore has cut the lead to 12 with a 2-yard run by D'Antonio Leshure, and the Rattler faithful are getting back excited up on their feet, Scorer.
Well, you have to give your fans here on senior night and homecoming 22 something to be excited about. And here it is. We've already seen the band very excited in regards to them playing nonstop. And here's a big opportunity here on this kickoff to get another huge hit.
Tristan Page takes it at about the 22 inside of the numbers. And he's going to be tackled at about the 36-yard line. So BC Rain will take possession here with 2:51 remaining in the third quarter.
Leflore's defense rose to the occasion last time defensively.
There's our scoring drive, Corey.
7 plays, 47 yards, and more importantly, that defense had 3 minutes and 5 seconds to rest, as you have some Rattlers who are playing both ways tonight for Renardo Jackson. But wouldn't it be a huge opportunity to come away with a turnover, whether it's on downs or whether it's a fumble or an interception, something to get your defense continue to be involved?
Marion Davis with the run as he is tackled near the 47-yard line. Big run by the young man. That'll be enough to move the chains. First down for BC Rain.
And what you have to do is you have to go ahead and weave your way in and out. But when you pick the right hole and hit it, the time you're tackled, you already have enough for the first down.
I like that running by Davis. He's a shifty guy. That time he goes north and south straight up the middle to the midfield stripe, just past it. They'll mark him at the 49-yard line. Another run by Marion Davis.
Roderick Dortch on the stop for Leflore, but not before 4 yards were gained. Second down and 6 yards to go for the Red Raiders, who also have players playing both ways.
That's correct. Bryce Dowland not on the field right now, but Ricky Nichols playing on offense as he's blocking for Davis. Davis picks up about 3 right there. Going to bring up 3rd and short for BC Rain.
Wright comes from his cornerback position. The 155-pound senior already has 1 interception of the night, makes an outstanding open field tackle right before the first down is gained, and it's going to be right down at 3rd and 3 to go. And if there's a time now for this Leflore defense to find its rhythm, it is right here on this third down play.
Dowling back in the ball game on offense. Yelding directing traffic. 2 seconds on the play clock. 1. They get it off. Play action. And we have whistles. I wonder if Coach Yelding called the timeout. And he did. He was a little suspect, Corey. So
the headsets are off across the way.
Yeah, he called the timeout
in disgust.
But so that's Rain's first time out here in the second half. 2 remaining for each of the teams as he wants to get the right play call. Because, Corey, I feel he probably sensed, the momentum has kind of went over to the Rattlers right now.
Well, offensive coordinator Famous Davis talking to his guys, letting them know that it's just going to boil down to execution right here. You don't want to have any type of penalty that will go ahead and bring you up into 3rd and long. And if you're Leflore, you just have to find a way to win the line of scrimmage. You have to go ahead and make Yeldon uncomfortable in this position of quarterback tonight.
It's 3rd and 3 coming up here. Big play for the Red Raiders. And this is one of those plays that Coach Yeldon told me about the other night on the phone. Say we can't overlook our competition. We've got to take one each as it is. A big jumbo package in and some movement. I saw a couple of the Red Raiders moving, Corey. And that is a false start. That'll push him back 5, so it's going to turn into 3rd and 7 coming up here.
That's what you did not want.
I'm sorry, 3rd and 9.
If you were BC Rain, you wanted to come out of the timeout not having a penalty, and that's exactly what the offensive line does. Makes it where now you're looking at 3rd and 8, a long 8 yards to go, Al, for the Red Raiders. And if you're Leflore, you want to find a way to get that penetration right up the middle as Cornel Gavin, Jamar Curtsey, and Jeremiah Conley up front putting pressure.
It looks as if they were trying to set up a screen, and Dowling ran outside rather than running into the flat, and Yelding just throws it away. Somewhat of a busted play for the Red Raiders. Coach Yelding upset with that execution right there, as Tamatra Wright's going to go back and try to field this punt coming up.
If you're Leflore, go ahead and field this punt cleanly. On the last couple of special teams played, we've had some type of yellow flag to be thrown, whether it's a block the back or a holding. You just have to make sure that you don't commit a penalty here to give BC Rain a first or a fresh set of downs.
Page gets the punt off. Wright's going to field it at the 17, cuts back to the inside, and he's brought down near the 35-yard line. Got to thank the folks over there at Firehouse Subs, where for a limited time, get your Italian favorites for $6.99. Choose from the medium Firehouse meatball or Italian, but it's for a limited time only, so visit our friends Jim and Susie Sherman at the Greenlight Road location. Firehouse Subs, enjoy more subs and save more lives. Also thanks to BSN Sports, where you can get team apparel and equipment from baseball to volleyball and all sports in between. BSN Sports, the heart of the game, online at bsnsports.com. Leflore gets the ball here at the 38, Corey.
It's going to be huge here, this wing T. You've had success passing the ball and Singleton running it.
Rattlers back to throw, going deep. Incomplete as he was trying to get that one to Tamatra Wright.
And that's a throw that he made earlier to Wright, where the ball was inbounds and giving your wide receiver an opportunity to come away and make that catch. So that's the biggest thing. When you're running this wing T, and again, you know your corners are not pressing or playing hard coverage at the line of scrimmage, what you have to make sure is you put a ball in play for your wide receivers and give them an opportunity to go up and catch it.
2nd down and 10 coming up here for the Rattlers. 30 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. They hand off to Singleton. He picks up about 4 yards on the play. Going to take Leflore to 3rd down and long, and I believe that will be our last play of the 3rd quarter. Leflore does not have to snap the ball. They can just let the the game clock run out. And all the fingers go up, signifying it's time for the 4th quarter, as that is the end of the 3rd. BC Rain on top, 27-15. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Al Weed and Corey LeBounty, and on the sidelines, Kimberly Dunn. All right, Corey, we put up the question. Let's put the question up. But unlike last week, let's don't reveal the answer so quick, because, man, you didn't have to think about it last week. All right, Corey, this former Rattler went undrafted in 1994, but played 5 seasons in the NFL for Chicago, the New York Jets, and Philadelphia. Is it Lawyer Tillman, Anthony Marshall, B.N. Harbin, or Danny Woodson Jr.?
Well, I tell you, Lawyer Tillman was very special. But I really like Anthony Marshall, and he is in the Leflore Athletic Hall of Fame for a reason. I'm going to go Anthony Marshall.
Corey's going with B. We know he loves C. Let's see. And you're correct. It is Anthony Marshall. Good job, Corey LeBounty. Good job.
You know, Anthony Marshall is one of those guys who did a tremendous job being a Bayou Bengal.
Played his ball at LSU. Sure did.
And, again, made his mark in the NFL as well.
LeSure back to throw, has plenty of time. And that pass tipped as it was intended to his brother once again, but one of the Red Raiders got close to it. And the Rattler fans breathe a sigh like, oh my goodness.
And he knows he needed to come down with it. Let's take a look at that again if we can.
He had him
on replay to see exactly why the younger LeSure's pass did not go completed to his older brother. And you start looking at a seam route right at the leg. He just didn't catch it.
Maybe that hand going up.
It did, distracted him.
Threw his timing off for the young man. Tristan Page back to receive this punt, who also happens to punt for the BC Rain Red Raiders. And we have a flag on the play near the 40-yard line here in front of the Leflore bench. That's going to push the Rattlers back. Oh, I'm sorry, sideline warning against the Rattlers. So right now, BC Rain not putting anyone back. A high snap. The fake is on. LeSure takes off. And he goes out of bounds at the line of scrimmage near the 37, and Corey on the far side near the 30. As you can see, a flag comes out.
Well, I know that LeSure does not run a 4.2 40, but I don't really know if he had an opportunity to throw that one down the field or not, but he must have saw something field level that we didn't see here high atop the press box area. But there is a flag on the play.
Take a look at the replay. The snap was high. I thought he was still going to try to punt it, but no, the fake was on because he immediately went to throw.
Never cocked his arm back to throw it either.
Let's see what Mike Beckton has to say.
That's a foul on the offense. That penalty time.
So it'll be turnover on downs. A personal foul against Leflore. Once again, Corey, we've had that called a lot tonight.
And the Rattlers are doing their Rattler cadence, but the offense is not in cadence right now, taking advantage of the opportunities that have been given to them by this BC Rain Red Raider offense, and BC Rain's going to take over at the Rattler 32-yard line.
So ball over on downs. Great field position coming up here for the Red Raiders. And we have a stoppage as we approach 9:30, and I believe it is a false start.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Pushes BC Rain back 5 yards.
11:44 to go here, Al. And it's been one of those situations to where it's not been the cleanest of games that have been played this entire season for sure.
By both teams, has not been a clean game at all. 1st and 15. Ball's on the 37-yard line of Leflore. He give it to Dowling. He gets just past, just inside of the line of scrimmage. Looks like they're going to mark him at the 30-yard line. Nice 7-yard run by Bryce Dowling.
And we mentioned that BC Rain has some of the players playing both ways. We've seen Dowling at linebacker. We've seen him at running back and playing special teams when he needs to, but a tremendous downhill runner for sure.
Has 2 scores tonight, 1 on defense and 1 on offense. As Yielding's looking to the sideline, play clock's at 10. Yielding's pass to Tristan Page, incomplete. This will be 3rd down coming up for the Red Raiders.
3rd and 8 is what we will officially call it, and we'll see if the Red Raiders are able to convert. If they are able to get the 1st down, they'll be close to getting into red zone territory, and they're looking to go ahead and catch Leflore really slipping defensively for being on the field a long time here in the 2nd half.
They fake it to Dowling. Yielding keeps it up the middle. He goes, and he's going to take it to a house for a 30-yard touchdown run. I'm sorry, 33-yard touchdown run for Amari Yielding.
On 3rd down and 8, it is a 30-yard touchdown.
Yeah, that's a 30-yard.
On 3rd and 8. So you have to be tremendously excited if you're Amari Yielding, knowing that you just didn't run the 40-yard dash, but you surely ran the 30-yard dash and was able to go ahead and cash in as the quarterback for the Red Raiders.
He did a little bobbing and weaving there, Corey. It just wasn't a straight line run. That's Yielding's 2nd touchdown tonight, 1 on the ground, and he has thrown 1 as well. BC Rains extends their lead 34-15 over Leflore as Amari Yielding hits pay dirt for the Red Raiders.
A teacher is one of the biggest investors in a community.
They impact the lives of those we value the most.
Teachers share knowledge which helps shape and mold our future leaders.
Teachers show direction and help build a sense of purpose. Are you ready to make a change? For more information on teaching opportunities, teacher incentives, or to apply with the Mobile County Public Schools, log on to www.mcpss.com.
A shot of the moon and a shot that BC Rain has taken tonight as they try to get a win to continue their hopes of making the playoff score.
We talked about it in the pregame, Al. Control your own destiny tonight if you're the Red Raiders. And if you're the Viger Wolves sitting at home here watching this game,
right.
You're really pulling for the orange and green of Leflore as jockeying for playoff position continues these last 2 weeks of high school football.
A flag right at the time of the kick. And we'll have a re-kick here by BC Rain as the bands continue to go at it tonight. As for the Red Raiders, they're dressing out about 55 players tonight. Leflore has 6 seniors. BC Rain only has 5 seniors, returning 9 on offense and 6 on defense. Both of these squads are young squads, Corey, for the most part. So there's some future. We're going to continue calling a few of these names in the upcoming years.
Well, I love that. And P. Ryan's kick is going to be a live ball that's going to go out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
Ultimately going to lead to a penalty on that kickoff.
Let's see if Coach Jackson will force him to kick it again, or he'll just take the yardage off the penalty. As Mike Beckton and the crew are walking it up. On the far side over there on the BC Reign sideline, just behind Mike Beckton, you can see Public Safety Director and BC Reign graduate Lawrence Batiste. I walked in, Corey, I said, man, I'm always seeing you at these BC Reign games. He kind of chuckled like, you know why I'm here.
He likes to support his Red Raiders, and there's nothing wrong with that. As you and I both here at homecoming for the Leflore Rattlers, it's a homecoming for us both, as both of us are Leflore High School graduates.
Yep. 1st and 10 for the Rattlers. The ball's at the 38-yard line. Down 34-15 to BC Reign. Up the middle goes Roderick Dortch. And you can see Ricky Nichols trying to strip it out of there. Unsuccessful. Nice run by Dortch. Takes it up to the 45.
The biggest thing for Dortch is he took care of the football. We saw that same exact play lead to a turnover. You give it to the up back, and he just kind of bobs and weaves his way around and is very patient pressing the hole when he does get it.
You can see Bryce Dowling down there at the bottom of the pile tugging at it. 2nd and 3 coming up here for the Rattlers. We'll call it 2nd and 4. And that may be a false start. Looks like the right tackle moved as LeSure reassures his right tackle.
And I will say this after this penalty is assessed and called out by our official here. One of the things on that touchdown run by the quarterback, Yelding, Jordan Vines, number 6, he has the pink protection on his arms, the arm sleeves, and he signaled touchdown before Amari even had scored it. A lot of confidence knowing that your quarterback was going to go ahead and cash in. He was blocking down the field, and as soon as they got past him, he turned around and threw his hands up, very similar to what you saw Lane Kiffin do when he was Alabama's offensive coordinator on the sidelines, knowing that it had been executed to a T.
Looks like a timeout has been called by Leflore. I believe, Coach Renato Jackson has called his 2nd timeout here in the 4th quarter, so we'll have a break right here as he wants to talk things over.
Well, he wants the band to quiet down a little bit.
Oh, that's what it is. They're waving up top. Next week, we're taking it down to Bobcat country. This is going to be a big one, Corey. Saraland and Theodore going head-to-head. Saraland is off, and Theodore has to play McGill-Tulane tomorrow night. So this will be a big ball game. We'll be on Friday night with our pregame kickoff at 6:50. Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be one of the elite contests of the 2022 football season.
Absolutely.
You'll have the top 2 teams in 6A Region 1, the top 2 teams that possibly could see each other twice in the playoffs, but nonetheless a tremendous amount of athletes, Division I prospects on the field, and that's what Renato Jackson called that timeout for. He wanted to quiet down the band because they couldn't hear, and they wanted to make sure that when Leflore has the ball, the band stops playing.
LeSure back to throw, has plenty of time, throws it into triple coverage, trying to get it to his brother, and a flag comes in after the play near the 31-yard line of BC Reign. See what the call is going to be from Mike Beckton and the crew. As Leflore went over the top, trying to get a big chunk play right there. Holding called against BC Reign.
And I tell you who won't stop playing while Leflore has the football is BC Reign's
10-yard penalty yard results in a 1st down.
You are right about that, Corey, because they are going at it right now. As we get a shot from our camera guys That was a good observation. They immediately started playing when Leflore stopped. So it's first down and 10, ball at the 50-yard line. 9:17 remaining here in the contest. Leflore down 34-15. The pitch out to DeJuan LeSure as he breaks it inside of the 40, inside of the 35. Nice run by LeSure.
And the offensive line continuing to get a great push. As you look at that replay, LeSure does a wonderful job of staying in bounds and getting as many extra yards as he could. And yards after contact allow him to go ahead and get a fresh set of downs right at the 35-yard line of the Red Raiders.
15-yard pickup by the older brother of D'Antonio LeSure. First and 10 for Leflore. Ball at the BC Rain 35-yard line. As you can hear the Leflore coaches telling the kids to let's go, let's go. Play clock approaching 15 seconds. Hand off to Singleton. He picks up a couple. And, Corey, that is probably, if you want to call it, the downside of running this wing T. It takes a while for things to develop. And the way Leflore is down right now, they need to score quick if they're trying to get back in the game. We have an injured BC Rain Red Raider.
And I agree with you there, Al, in regards to Zion Hill trying to pop up after I believe he's catching a small cramp. It's still, even though the temperature's dropping now to 63 degrees, if you didn't hydrate properly and you're playing both ways or continue to be on the field a long time, those cramps can come up and get you. But more importantly for Leflore, if you're going to get this time of possession and take a long time to ground and pound with this wing T, you have to put points on the board.
Correct.
You don't want to come up empty with time of possession ticking right now in your favor, but the scoreboard not looking that way.
Second and 6, balls at the 31. LeSure back to pass. Pressure's coming on him. He's outside of the numbers. And it's just going to step out of bounds. And a late flag coming in from white hat Mike Beckton.
And I don't know if that's going to be a holding or a personal foul.
Right. And it's going against Leflore. I think that may be a hold.
Blind side.
I believe he was trying to say a blindside block, Corey.
Crackback block.
Crackback block. There we go. That's what we call an old school.
I don't know if we're able to see it on film exactly where it happened because the flag came in right around the numbers is where I saw the flag thrown, but it is going to cause a tremendous loss for the Rattlers. And
puts it back on the 45. Here's the replay here. Let's see if we can see it.
Coming back to make the block at some point in time.
Maybe right there.
That's the only play I could have seen that would have caused a flag to be thrown.
And ironically to me, LeSure was nowhere near where the block, he had already passed that area. He was out of bounds, Corey. But so I think that was more so of, if you want to call it, the sportsmanship of the rule, you know.
And Dylan Robinson almost came away with another takeaway for the Red Raiders. So the quarterback, LeSure, don't want to make sure I get D'Antonio and not his brother being careful with the football there. You don't want to turn the ball over. Again, I mentioned time of possession. If you have a drive going in your favor here with 7:59 remaining, and this is a huge third down, BC Rain, single coverage, don't want to get beat deep.
3rd and 20 coming up for Leflore. LeSure running for his life, and the Red Raiders, they wrap him up just outside of the 40-yard line. They brought the heat on that one, Corey. That's going to take the Rattlers to 4th down.
Well, if you're Renardo Jackson, 7:35 remaining here in the 4th quarter, you go ahead and you go for it because you're trailing by 19 points. And in this situation, what you try to get is a pass interference call or a personal foul call, maybe a face mask, something that will lead to positive yards.
4th and 16, and Coach Jackson is going to burn his last time out. And he wants to talk to the young men down 34-15.
I like the timeout, and it's to go ahead and make sure that everybody's on the same page at 4th down. Now, what you don't want out of the timeout is what we saw earlier, for someone to jump off sides or there to be a penalty coming out of a timeout.
Right.
You want to make sure that the execution is clean, whatever your best play is for 4th down and long.
When I was talking to Coach Jackson over at the school the other day, Corey, I had to ask him during my interview, how did it feel coaching against Viger last week? And he said it was kind of surreal when he lined up against him. It kind of came to him, you know, he saw his dream of one day being a head coach fulfilled, and it was great to receive congratulations from the young men he had helped develop over the years, and they were kind of congratulating him. So he said it was a surreal moment to coach against the Wolfpack, but also to see the young men that he helped develop grow and continue to grow. As I was looking over my shoulder at the little, if you want to call it a smaller version of the blue map he had in his office as well from that championship last year.
Miniature trophy to keep him motivated there. 4th and 14 for Leflore.
LeSure has time. He throws it, trying to reach his brother, and he catches it. That is a 41-yard pass from LeSure to LeSure.
Caleb Phillips, the defensive back, beat on the play. And we've seen touchdowns tonight on 4th down by both of these teams, something you don't see a lot of, but
That's
you
right.
see the arm strength of the sophomore quarterback, and he lets it wind up. And this is the second time tonight his brother made sure he looked this one in.
The brother connection, and he had time to step into it, even with the heat coming on him, Corey, because if he had thrown it off his back foot, that ball probably would have floated. But stepping into it, D'Antonio LeSure to DeJuan LeSure.
And I love the brotherly love here. Another 2-point conversion opportunity for Leflore. The direct snap.
As they pitch it off.
It's going to be good.
It is good as Leflore converts on the 2-point conversion. Mike Luttrell takes it in. 34-23 is the score.
If you look at the numbers, Mobile County Public Schools is making great strides. With more than 53,000 students, 7,000 employees, and 90 schools, we are consistently increasing our 4-year graduation rate and our first-class pre-K program. We continue to strive for national recognition and continue to prepare our students for the global workforce. And we do all of this with one goal in mind, to equip and empower college and career-ready graduates. Mobile County Public Schools. We're learning today, leading tomorrow.
Leflore has scored again, 34-23. Corey, they have the fight in them. They're not giving up tonight.
Well, Leflore's Coach Jackson said, now you can strike up the band and make as much noise as you want to in regards to celebrating that touchdown pass. The Rattlers now trailing 23-34 with still plenty of time remaining. And if you're BC Rain, you don't want to bail out on this kick. Be aware of the onside kick that could be coming, but you're BC Rain. Don't let momentum strike you down.
And there it is, 10 yards, and right on it, Ricky Nichols at the 49-yard line as the Rattlers try to swag surf an onside kick and take advantage of BC Rain.
All right, well, you knew it had to be coming because that's how you steal points. And you put your sure hands guy out there. Ricky Nichols already has one scoop and scored defensively. and he goes ahead and is on the sure hands team and is able to cover that up. Now, we'll see if the Red Raiders are able to do anything with it. In great field position when that onside kick does not go your way.
Rattlers down 11, 7:09 remaining here in the ball game. Amari Yelding leading the Red Raiders on the field. Marion Davis just to his right. They hand it off to Davis. He picks up about 2 or 3. Take the BC Rain to second down.
And again, what's amazing to me going back to that touchdown throw is Leflore, out of this wing T offense, has shown that you don't have to be successful running the football, even though that's what your intentions are. They've taken advantage of this depleted secondary and been able to score multiple times on throwing the football through the air.
Second and 7 coming up here for BC Rain. Trip receivers to the bottom, but they give it to Bryce Dowling as he is chased by the Rattlers. Reverses field. Past the 40 and just steps out of bounds near the 38 or 37-yard line. That's a first down, and it'll move the sticks.
Bryce Dowling reverses field and shows his ability to go ahead and scamper. You see him run towards BC Rain's sidelines and then cuts back because there's nothing there. And the poor pursuit angles of the Leflore defensive secondary allows Bryce, as he tries to deliver the nasty stiff arm at the end.
They're going to place it at the 38-yard line of Leflore. First and 10 for BC Rain. As we are under 6 minutes, and
I want to push it back up to 40 seconds.
Mike Beckton asking to push the play clock back up. And I think we're ready to roll. Not quite yet.
I think he wants some more time on the game
clock. And I
clock.
believe Coach Renato Jackson wants some more time on the game clock as well. That's what he's asking for.
6:07, we're good.
And the game clock has been adjusted to 6:07, and we are ready to play. First and 10, ball's on the 38. Trip receivers to the near side, on the short side of the field as well. Takes it out the belly of Davis, and look at Amari Yelding. One guy to beat, he pushes him out of bounds. Just outside of the 5. Let's see where they mark him out at. Looks like about the 3-yard line where Yelding stepped out. Nice play call. Yep.
Second time we've seen him score a 30-yard touchdown run in very similar fashion. And he's going to be marked out in red zone territory. First and goal to go for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, it's on the 3-yard line. Fake it to Davis. Yelding keeps it, does a little spin move. That one goes nowhere, Corey. But that was a big run by Yelding. Second and goal coming up here. As the Leflore Rattlers band continues to play on. No gain on the play, and BC Rain, of course, just taking their time, Corey. Play clock approaching 10 seconds. Handed off to Bryce Dowling. And he literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leaves 5 Rattlers in the dust for a 3-yard score, and that's Dowling's 3rd touchdown tonight.
4 Leflore Rattlers around the football, and I mentioned part of my checklist is for the Rattlers to tackle at the point of attack. If any of them go low on Dowling, he slices through them and slithers his way through the snakes who are trying to tackle him and comes away with 6 more for Leflore.
Hernandez's kick is up and good, and I really thought they had him, Corey, but he got right on through as we look at the replay.
You. Ayla, hi. Oh, hi, Sierra. How are you? Good. How are things?
Things couldn't be better.
What do you mean?
Well, I just started this new job as a school teacher with the Mobile County Public Schools, and it has been a life changer. Great benefits, the hours are great, and great students. Just overall, it's a great opportunity.
Oh, wow, that sounds great. Yeah. I'm going to look into that.
You should.
For more information, visit mcpss.com/job opportunities.
Bryce Dowling with his third score of the night, Corey. 1 on defense, 2 on offense for the young man as he continues to pile up big numbers. Hernandez kicks off. Taken by Tamatra Wright, who's been doing a good job on kick returns tonight for the Rattlers. Great return inside of the 35 as BC Rain is up 41-23.
Well, if you're Leflore, out of this wing T offense you've been running, and you want to continue to have success attacking the secondary of the Red Raiders, because you mentioned it moments ago, you don't have time to ground and pound.
You don't.
You have to go ahead and go for what you know and take what the defense gives you. If you're the quarterback, D'Antonio LeSure.
No wing team here, Corey. They're going straight gun, trip receivers to the top as Roderick Dortch checks in just to the right of LeSure. LeSure has time and is brought down by Khalil Perine. Perine back in the ball game after that cramp. I thought LeSure would have just thrown it away. That's about a 6-yard loss.
Yeah, in that situation, you've got to know that you're outside of the pocket,
right,
and you're out of the tackle box area. Go ahead and throw that one away, and don't take that loss of yardage. Now, what's happening here with the secondary of BC Rain? There is a flag on the play, but BC Rain's secondary is go ahead and drop it back. So when you're playing the drop back coverage that they're playing, looks like too high safety, you have the underneath routes that are available for Leflore. You're not going to be able to hit them with the D ball any longer. You've done enough damage doing that throughout the contest. So look for anything in the intermediate, the 5 to 7 yard area, your check downs,
right,
or what's very important for your quarterback to make as well.
Mike Becton talking with Lawrence Yelding, getting his decision as how he wants to handle this.
Right here. Hold it. That penalty's refused. Second down.
So Yelding refused the penalty. Basically, take the tackle where it was at the 39-yard line. At about a 6-yard loss for the Rattlers. Second and long coming up for Leflore. They're scheduled to be at Citronelle next week and at Faith Academy to wrap up their season. Pass completed to DeJuan LeSure.
I like that route, Al. And that's what you have to do. Find the confidence in your brother in that situation, and you're able to go ahead and, as the defense bails out past the line of scrimmage, take the intermediate routes and the 5 to 7 yard routes, and again, you'll have success as now it looks like it's going to be 3rd down and 6 yards to go.
Little dump down, take what they'll give you. Ball's at the 30-yard line. LeSure has time. Incomplete. Kind of bounced off the arm of his intended receiver, Jeremiah Davis. It'll be 4th down coming up for the Rattlers.
And guess who's in coverage on that play?
Let me guess. Bryce Dowling?
That would be correct.
It's taking a while, I guess, there,
yeah,
Corey.
Having a whale of a game tonight.
Playing offense and
Raiders.
defense, yep. And consistently doing it as well. Speaking of the Red Raiders, they're going to be traveling to Alberta next week and then hosting Gulf Shores. 2 more region contests left for BC Rain. Same formation for Leflore. Pass complete from LeSure to LeSure, picks up the first down. Rattlers inside the red zone.
And that's what you have to have. You start looking at being able to pick up another first down. The clock will stop as they move the chains, and then it will start to run again. But you have to go quickly in tempo right here.
First to 10, balls on the 17. They hand it off to Singleton as he barrels forward to the 12. And we are approaching 3 minutes left in the contest here. Corey, who you thinking about for your Career Tech Education Player of the Ball game?
Well, I know Ricky Nichols' name has been called a lot tonight. Bryce Dowdland's name
definitely
been called a lot tonight for the Red Raiders, and D'Antonio LeSure has had a great contest along with his running back Singleton for the Rattlers.
Right there with another carry by Singleton as he gets closer to the first down marker. It's going to be 3rd and short coming up for Leflore as they're trying to get another score. Down 17 points right now. 18 points to BC Rain. 3rd and short for Leflore. They go back to Singleton. He hits the pile, bounces off, but he has enough for the first down as he's brought down at the 5-yard line.
And I love the patience by Singleton. He hits and presses the hole hard, sees it close up, bounces to the outside, is able to pick up the yardage needed. 1st and goal for Leflore.
Ball sitting on the 5-yard line. 2 minutes remaining here in the contest. And Rattlers trying, if you want to call it, Corey, get that last pride score if possible. Up the middle goes Singleton. Spinning. Brought down for about a 2-yard gain.
Dowdland and Nichols. And there's going to be an official timeout for Singleton.
His helmet came off, I believe. Game clock has stopped. So he will have to come out for one play. Second and goal for Leflore. Ball's at the 2-yard line. B.J. Pleasant enters the ball game along with Roderick Dortch. They give it to B.J. Pleasant, and he is upended near the 1-yard line.
Nichols goes low as what I thought Leflore would have done it when they were in goal-to-goal situation earlier.
Right.
You go ahead, how do you kill a horse? You chop his legs out from under him.
High snap over the head of LeSure. Mental miscue by Leflore. LeSure picks it up, and the Red Raiders pile on. It's going to be 4th down and goal from about the 18-yard line, Corey.
Negative yardage for the Rattlers in the red zone is something you don't want to see. You want to see and give your team an opportunity. We've seen them score on 4th and 20, and now you're looking at a 4th down and goal to go. So it's all or nothing right here on this play for Leflore.
LeSure has time. Rolls out of the pocket to his left. Throws against his body, and that ball is out of the end zone with 12 seconds remaining. Ball over on downs, something we've said a few times tonight. And we'll take a look at our Career Tech Education Player of the Ball game. We'll get it up here as we get ready to wrap this thing up, Corey. 11 seconds remaining. All BC Rain has to do is just take a knee.
Well, it was a valiant effort by Leflore tonight not to show any quit. And there is your Career Tech Education Player of the Game.
Bryce Dowdland, 3 touchdowns tonight he accounted for, had a 65-yard touchdown return off of a fumble, had a 4-yard run to start off the scoring for the Red Raiders, and he scores the Red Raiders' last touchdown, Corey, with a 3-yard scamper as well, and played defense, as we called his name out on defense a lot tonight as well. So he was Mr. Everything for the Red Raiders.
Well, you just come out and you play with a lot of determination, and this is a big-time win for the BC Reign Red Raider program as they continue to keep their playoff hopes alive. Leflore going to be looking to get their first win of the season next week at Centronell on the road.
That is correct. Currently, Centronell winless as well as the Rattlers. We'll see what happens with Centronell tomorrow night. But tonight, BC Reign is going to get the win 41-23, and that's one win closer for Lawrence Yelding and his Red Raiders.
It really is, Al, and it's very important for them and their program to, again, establish the foundation of trying to make the playoffs in back-to-back years, something that you mentioned earlier that BC Reign has not been able to accomplish in a very long time.
Right. Last time they made back-to-back playoff appearances was 2002 and 2003. But tonight they came out exploding, Corey, 41 points for the Red Raiders.
It was very important that they established momentum early, and that's something that Coach Yelding has talked about. His team doesn't quit in the fourth quarter, is evident in the huge region victory over Viger.
Correct.
But again, getting his team offensively ready on a short week, I congratulate them for taking care of business early and making Leflore really fight from behind the entire contest.
Sure did. We're going to put up the final statistics. I know Kimberly Dunn is on the sidelines trying to get a hold of Coach Lawrence Yelding as he has 2 more big ball games remaining at Alberta and then hosting Gulf Shores right here at Ladd Stadium. Here are the final stats of the ball game, Corey.
Well, Leflore wound up being penalized 11 times for 68 yards, but BC Reign also penalized 11 times for 81 yards. And you start talking about 2 turnovers for Leflore, 1 for BC Reign, and the total yardage was in favor of the Rattlers. And you start looking at the passing yardage out of the wing teeth, 169 passing yards. Offensive coordinator Ryan Powell is going to be very happy about that. The rushing yardage not really where you want it to be for Leflore, but it is where you want it to be for BC Reign.
Speaking of BC Reign, let's take it down to the sidelines. Kimberly Dunn has winning head coach Lawrence Yelding. Sorry, we're having some audio difficulties with Kimberly talking with Coach Yelding, but I know he's excited about the victory tonight, Corey.
Well, you know, he talked about what they had to do to go ahead and get this victory. He's probably not happy with the big-time explosive plays that were given up on 4th down, but at the same time, his team came away with the victory.
Absolutely. BC Reign gets the win tonight, 41-23. Next week, we're taking it down to Theodore. It's going to be Saraland versus Theodore for a big 6A Region 1 contest. So make sure you join us at 6:50. For Kimberly Dunn, Corey LeBounty, our statistician Matt Moore, engineer Fran Conaway, director Wade Ford, and executive producer Quentin Howard, I'm Al Whedon, thanking you for joining us for tonight's broadcast. BC Reign gets the win, and their playoff hopes are still alive.